Hello, hello, it's the Tuesday show. I'm Ultra David.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Sejam.
Tasty Steve.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
Well, we're going to be talking about the Injustice 2 beta. We'll talk about Frosty Faustings. Dan is going to be doing something. We're also going to talk about the...
Is that what he says?
I
I never know.
The tears in his
Yeah.
eyes.
You played Dan.
I always thought you said Vol'jin, but that's a joke that
Vol'jin?
not many people are going to get.
Well, yeah, G
Yeah.
is father.
Oh, okay.
He's
That makes
screaming
way
for
more
Oh,
sense.
duh, yeah.
Way more
He's
sense.
screaming for
We're
his
also going to
father.
talk about the potential effects of the travel ban on the FGC and
That doesn't affect
video
us.
games.
It's just video games, man.
It's just video games.
That's what
It's
they
just
say.
video games.
God.
Anyway, but let's start with Injustice 2. The beta is out. It will be out for like a month, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like another 2 weeks, right?
Another couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's only been a week.
It's
Has
only
it?
been a
I
week.
thought it was
Yeah,
been
it's been a
2
week.
Dude,
It's only
I'm
been a
telling
week.
you right now, these past 9 days have been the longest days.
Have they?
It feels like it.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Dude,
you're right.
every
Yeah,
morning-
you mean since day one of
Yeah,
presidency
every
on
time
day
I
3?
wake up,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
Day one of
how
hell
many,
on earth.
how many,
Just
how many
kidding.
more days do we have to deal with this? So yeah, anyways.
My girlfriend gets out of work and she immediately texts me like, "What happened?"
Yo,
happened
when
while
are
I
you
was
going
in
to
there?
do this? I'm
Oh,
telling you
politics
right
stream.
now.
The
You
politics
have to do a
stream.
please, David. I would be
Loyally
there. You would be my first
Ugh.
sub. I would legitimately.
Wait, how
stream-
would he be your first sub? Don't you mean you would be his?
You
first
know what
sub?
I meant. That's I would you.
Your
you.
talk would be so good,
Ugh.
he'd log into your account and subscribe to himself. You're his top 5 favorite streamers in his list of top 3.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And
I'm 3
actually,
of those.
you went to LAX. That was so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
You were
it's-
part of the. You went there and
gotta
helped
do what you gotta
protest
do.
and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I woke up too late. I think I woke up after the thing.
It was going
done.
until like 7 or 8.
Oh, was it?
at
Oh,
night.
okay. I thought they said like 1 to 4 or
They
something.
did,
like
but you
that,
know,
so,
protests. I
yeah.
mean, that's basically like
Protest.
FGC time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
I
show
feel
up
like
late.
if you go on time to a
Protest
protest and
every
it
time.
ends the minute you say it's
Yeah,
gonna end, then
PST.
it's not a real protest,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're done at 4. Jokes on them. We're not leaving at 8. Let's
Yeah.
get it started, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's stuff I've been doing for 15. How old am I? 20 years, maybe? Almost.
He's 23, so.
What am I, 33? Yeah, that's right. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
I always have to do the math now. Anyway, let's talk about Injustice. So I haven't really had a chance to play it
Haven't
yet.
we been talking about Injustice this whole time?
Is it? Well, okay. I feel like that's why we... Nice work.
Can't make your segue that obvious. You gotta keep it together.
Yeah.
That wasn't a segue, dude.
Segue
That was
I
on
actually
one.
have not had a chance to play it on account of I've been doing other things for the last week, not video games as much. But you have had a chance to play
I played 5 matches.
Injustice as well.
I was teaching
haven't
him
had
today.
a chance to play it.
Yeah, so we went to the ESL studios today and they were there. And he was playing Batman. I was like, all right, I'm going to show you the ropes, right?
Yeah.
So I was like teaching him the basic strings and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you just do. It's crazy to me the fact that like there's so much legacy in the game that I legit was like, oh yeah, just do 1, 2, 3, back 2, then
I
trade,
was
and
doing
then 4, 2,
combos
3,
in no
and then
time. It was
like,
fun.
I couldn't believe I was
sick.
like,
It's like doing a Tekken combo.
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
It's like the same.
it's crazy to me how much legacy there is in the game. But I got a chance to play. I've been playing mostly Superman to start because that was the character I knew the best out of the 4 that were there, right? Because 2 of them are returning, 2 new.
Right, so it's Batman, Superman,
Yeah, so-
and
Supergirl
Supergirl, and
and
Atrocitus.
Atrocitus.
Yeah. So I got a chance. I played a lot of Superman at the start because I was like, all right, let me, play the character I'm most familiar with, and that's the character who was kind of like my pocket at the start of the game, and then later on I just played him for fun. So I was like, let me try out Superman. Legacy is still there. A lot of the things feel the same. His forward 2 is a high now, which is interesting, right? So before that was one of the most dominant footsie tools.
For sure.
Now it's one of the most dominant footsie tools, but it's a high. It's crazy how good
Highs
it
are
is.
good, man.
Yeah, highs are still a good attack. It's like what is that Codal string that everybody complains is not good
Yeah,
because at
back
first
one.
it's a high.
Yeah,
Back
still
one
is
is no
very
good.
strong, obviously.
You're
Yeah.
just gonna duck back 1, right?
Yeah, you just
I
need
mean,
to duck,
'cause
sure.
the reason why,
Forward
because
two.
the reason why people don't realize that is because Injustice and Mortal Kombat,
Yep.
especially Mortal Kombat, has that Tekken feel where crouching is the bad idea to do.
Oh,
right?
yeah, in
because
a lot
like
of
most
instances, yeah.
combos aren't nearly as bad because
Good, it depends
if
on the
they hit
character.
you-
Yeah, against most characters you default low block. There's certain
Right,
characters where
but
it's
it's
different.
like in Mortal Kombat though, it's like if I just hit you with down kick, like nothing
Oh, I know
combos,
what
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, if you're just
But like if
normal
you know
crouching.
about the strings and stuff
Sure.
like that, yeah.
The strings have the
uh-huh.
important lows. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta
of
watch
course,
the
of course.
strings. But yeah, so I got the chance to play Superman a lot. I played against Ketchup the first day, who was
Oh, that's
playing
cool.
Atrocitus, West Coast
That
US.
seems kind of appropriate,
To
actually.
yeah, He's
the
all
red
red.
character?
Yeah, spitting cat. So we know.
Yeah,
he's
his
spitting
blood.
ketchup
Okay.
everywhere.
Yeah, his blood portal is like ketchup and everything. So I played from West Coast US to Europe. I don't know if he's in the UK right now or if he's in Poland because that's where ESL Studios is. So
right.
either way, the connection was great.
Right.
It was better than me playing my roommate down the hall in Street Fighter V online. True story. Actually, that's actually true. So yeah, I played against Ketchup. Connection was great. Everything felt awesome. I played against Dragon, who's East Coast. Connection was great. No problems with that. Rip was streaming. He was playing against Foxy. That's West Coast to UK. Connection was great.
Wow.
No issues there. Modern fighting games can have good netcode. It's crazy, right?
Does it feel like the MKX netcode?
It feels like
Or
that.
is it better,
It
or-
feels like that, maybe better, but at least as good as
I mean,
MKX netcode.
it is the beta, and even for the Street Fighter V beta, when there were fewer people on it,
Yeah.
it
It
feels
felt
better.
great, right.
I don't
That's
expect
right.
it to get worse though. Is the thing
Yeah,
about
because
it.
the
Because the
MKX one
MKX
is good.
netcode is that
MKX
good.
netcode is
Yeah,
really
but I
good
mean,
now.
then again, Cross Tekken netcode was supposedly pretty decent, right? And it didn't seem to transfer.
But
over.
MKX does have good netcode, and the beta has felt good so far. Is the one
Right,
thing.
right.
So,
Okay.
yeah, the beta felt great. As far as all the characters, I've been playing every character on my stream, so I like have learned them all. Supergirl is, if you're just like the archetypes, Supergirl is very high mobility, really great zoning. Like her walk speed is crazy. She has a teleport. Her pressure is really strong up close, but she's very low damage.
Okay.
Is kind of her weakness, and she's a slightly stubby, although she has back one too, which has great range. But yeah, she's kind of like a mobility character who has great pressure. She has all the tools, but just doesn't hit that hard.
But she has that multi-hitting breath though. That is so good,
Yeah,
man.
so the way her breath works
It's so
is,
cheap.
it's like you can hold it and it's multiple hits.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, remember Devora's cannon
I was just gonna
and,
say, yeah.
and in
The
Mortal
bug spot
Kombat,
thing.
but it's not a block button game. So like trying to hit her, if she keeps holding it and you're trying to do an attack.
Oh, you're
you'll-
just gonna be in blocks
you can-
then. You'll be
No,
okay.
you actually will get a button. If
Oh,
it's like
really?
forward,
So like if
if
you
it's
get
like
hit
a
in
forward
the middle,
attack.
like you legit get clipped.
Okay.
So like
Yeah,
if you're
there's no absolute guard, right? That's
No,
how Injustice
I don't
was.
think so.
Yeah, there's none.
Oh,
So the way it works is what you do is you just hit a button that's like if you have a string that's back starter, you just hit that. So Superman has a new punish. It's back two. It's this grab thing he does. So you just mash back two, and if she does the breath and then lets go, you'll get it. And if she holds it,
okay.
you'll also get it, right?
Got it.
But yeah, so it's kind of like a read you have to make, and then she can meter burn it. So she can hold the breath for a while and then meter burn it, and then like back through you get a full combo. So that's Supergirl. Superman is a tank.
Well, didn't Supergirl have like a block string infinite? Didn't Sonic Fox find one?
They thought it was a block infinite, but it's not.
Oh, okay.
Because
okay.
the way it works is if you hold back,
Uh-huh.
the jump attack whiffs that he does, right?
Oh.
But he can hit another button that will gel you, but then you can hit him after
Right,
before
so
you,
there's a
so it's not a
mix-up
block.
there, right.
Or
Okay.
he can do an attack where he instantly whiffs in the air and lands, and he's like +1, and it's like he just floats and then whoop, instantly falls. Yeah, Sonic Fox has the craziest corner.
Oh my god!
Like the Supergirl
Even I
stuff
watched
he's doing
that.
is,
She was
dude,
stupid.
he's got like
That's
4 flies in one combo,
Right.
and it does like it does, and there's a restand at the end, so it's like you just do a bunch of fly and then
Hey, it's
restand,
Batgirl.
and then it's crazy looking.
Hey, is the game like Injustice 1 where there are wake ups that have invincibility,
Yeah,
but they don't have invincibility otherwise?
yeah. There is invincible wake up attacks.
Okay.
Not
Like
armor, it's invincible.
just invincibility, yeah. And pretty much all of them are punishable, all the wake up attacks. But yeah, like so that's Supergirl. She's kind of like an all around character, but low damage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wonder how much they're gonna change. I mean, obviously, there's probably a lot of potential.
Game's
that
5
they
months
change.
out,
Right.
so
exactly.
yeah, they
Yeah,
said a lot of the
it's a
frame
while,
data
sure.
is not final. Superman is very similar to Injustice 1. He's like a tank, where he has pretty good zoning, but it's really about the footsies and damage output, right? That's kind of his thing, where he just walks you down, and when he hits you, he hurts really bad. Batman is actually a little bit more defensive in this game, I feel like.
Okay.
His zoning's a lot better.
Oh, really?
Cool.
But
Right.
he's very
Oh, yeah,
similar.
okay.
Yeah, he's very similar to the last game. And then Atrocitus is like this weird mix of like Sinestro and like Summoner Quan. And he has like this cat that he calls Dextar.
Oh, yeah.
Who is another Red Lantern. And that thing is cool. It has a projectile that's homing.
Right.
So you can do cool mix-ups where he has a string that's like mid, and then overhead, right? And it ends the string. But then he has the low projectile.
Oh.
So he can do like mid, overhead, low, and then he can call the cat
Gotcha.
to keep himself
I saw
safe,
you
or
testing
overhead,
that with
overhead, and then yeah. So he has all kinds
Okay.
of cool stuff like that. He has great normals. They have huge space. He has a great down two
Definitely who I
also.
would play.
Yeah, he's super interesting characters. Lots of setups, potential, cool combos, good zoning. Like the mix-ups with the cat are super sick.
Yeah.
Like he even has like a cool mix-up where you can call the cat and then use the meter burn roll to the other side. and then like it's like a cross up, mix up. Like Batman can do the same thing with the
This is
bats.
the funniest thing is like every time you say like calling the cat, like I
Yeah.
think of like Kasumi with this giant cat. No, it's just this tiny
Little
cat.
Dexnar. Yeah, everybody was telling me that like James has to play Atrocitus because he
The
gets to
cat.
summon a
Yeah,
cat.
pretty
Gets to
much,
summon a
yeah.
cat. Like it's so cool. Yeah.
That cat is evil though, man.
So the thing.
I know.
The evil cat.
It's
That's
an evil cat.
Evil cat, man.
Is it real? Though?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Red Lantern. He's
He's a Red Lantern. He's that's
Evil
that.
cat?
that
But-
All Red Lanterns are evil.
because their rings are powered by rage. So
they're just bad.
yeah, like to me,
Like I said, I had someone tell me the whole lore of the whole thing. Yeah.
Blue Lanterns.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Well, I'll tell you this: the game feels there's a lot of legacy there.
Yeah.
The netcode feels great. It feels very similar to Injustice 1.
Okay.
But the walk speeds are massively improved.
Yes, that was something I was going to ask about.
Ma-
That was
walk
one of the
speed is
biggest
super fast.
complaints. Okay, cool.
But
It's
I mean,
really
it-
cool
like-
because I didn't play much of First Injustice, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
But like walking back and forth definitely does not.
Felt fine.
It felt fine. Like
So-
even dashing and being like stop, I was like, oh okay, that's not bad. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the dashes are still fast, but definitely reactable. And the cool thing about the game too is like in Injustice 1 you were so slow that Superman would just walk up to you in 4, 2, 3, and you couldn't back out of the range.
Right,
Your
yeah,
walk
yeah,
speed is
yeah,
just
yeah.
so slow. But in this
Okay,
game, if
okay.
you walk up in 4, 2, 3, and you're walking back, that thing just whiffs and you just whiff punish them.
Okay.
Like I felt like whiff punishing was very powerful in this game because the walk speeds are so
Good.
fast.
Because position that is the key to
Good.
whip punishing
Yeah.
is positioning, and if you
Yeah.
don't have that ability,
Right.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
very tough.
Yeah,
It
you had to be
was.
very preemptive in that game
Right.
a lot
Yeah.
of times.
But you had to have Bane
Like
and
everybody
do
was like
back
a-
forward too.
Everybody was kind of like a shorter range Makoto. Like you
Yeah,
didn't, you
totally.
didn't play at this. You played at this range and dash range.
Totally. It
Yeah,
was very
all-
hard to play normal footsies.
All the top tier in that game had just like huge normals or crazy mix-ups, like because you couldn't play the normal just grounded footsies unless you were certain characters, right? But yeah, in this game the walk speed's much better.
Yeah,
It
I'm
feels
curious
good.
because they said they're going to announce a new character pretty soon, right?
Tomorrow?
It was the second. They said it was second, so I think it's on Thursday. They're going to announce a new
Okay.
character. So yeah, I'm just curious to see what characters end up in the game because, like I said, I mean I use Catwoman because people told me Cat, play
Yeah.
Cat. So I'm really curious to see what character's gonna.
I think you would
It's
like.
going to be something interesting, man. I mean, that's been NRS for the last 3 games that they've made.
Right.
They've had really interesting character
Oh yeah.
variety.
Yeah,
Like, just
yeah.
weird, cool, funky ideas. And I'm sure it's going to be the same.
I
for
like
these
the fact
new
that
ones.
like NRS games, like I'm not like the biggest NRS guy, but like when they put these characters, even Mortal Kombat characters, I always think they're gonna play the same, but they always do these interesting things with them, and I'm like, that's not gonna
They got
work.
weird
And then
stuff.
I see it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that definitely works. That's actually
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
All the playable
Some of my favorite
characters
things about it.
in the beta right now are very different from each
Right,
other.
and not
Good.
only that too, but even like in MKX, they had the variations, which still, even though they're the same character and had a lot of same moves,
Oh,
felt very
man.
different from each other.
All right,
Yeah,
so.
for
we
sure.
should talk about the gear. That reminds.
Yes, let's. Yeah,
let's
yeah.
talk about the gear.
Yeah, how does that work
Okay,
in the beta?
So I didn't
Head shake,
realize.
I see.
Oh man, here's how
Oh,
the
yeah?
gear works.
Big time head shake?
Oh,
Oh,
man.
man.
Here's the thing about the gear. I like the gear a lot for a lot of reasons. And a
But
lot-
wait, they do have an option to just go to just stand.
turn it off, yeah.
But go ahead.
So in player matches, there's an option that pops. You hit a button and it says competitive mode on or off. So you can just turn on the gear or not, right? That's competitive
Okay.
mode.
Okay.
Competitive is not gear.
Yeah. I think the ranked matches will just automatically be competitive mode, is my theory.
Yeah.
Where there's no gear. And then player matches, it's optional.
It's a bummer, man.
So here's the thing about gear. I think
you want
gear.
gear.
I just if it could be done in some interesting way, like
Hold
competitive
on.
way. But if it can't, then I don't want it. Obviously.
Here's the thing about gear that's really sick, right? So gear lets you customize your character in the way they look, but also moveset.
Right.
So they have different moves that are on there. Like, Superman's straight laser is not meter burnable. Like the one on the ground,
Okay.
just the grounded heat zap. They have like an enhanced heat zap gear you can get where you can meter burn the move. And like it gives a different function. He had like you remember Demigoddess from Wonder Woman? It's a move where she flies horizontally across the screen.
Bubble.
Superman had a version of that where like it's a gear that you can equip to get new moves, which I thought was really cool. Here's the thing: the first night I played against Rip, and he had gear on, and I had 0 gear, and I didn't notice the damage differential because I was just playing new characters and it was brand new.
Sure.
Until I hit him with a super and it did 10% because his gear was so much more powerful than me. And then I was like, "That's crazy."
Sounds like a great time, right?
Right, and then I played online against some guy,
That's a
right?
bummer.
And my base stats were all like 1,000 something, and his was at like 2,500. So I hit him with a full Superman combo for like 20%, and he hit me with a combo. I did 80% damage. And we're playing the same character.
no.
And not only that, but I'm trying to air laser zone him, and he's jumping and doing this full screen dive bomb move horizontally that I had no access to because I just didn't unlock that gear yet. So I was like,
Bummer.
okay, I'm going to turn the gear off. And then I played with the gear off. But the cool thing is, if you get gear that makes your character look super dope, you just equip it, and then like your character looks really cool and different from everybody else.
Oh.
Like Sonic Fox's
Okay, so you can at least have the
visual
aesthetic.
stuff on it.
Basically,
Yeah,
you can
so
customize
That's
it.
good.
all the
Okay.
gear you equip, you still get the aesthetic from it. So Sonic
Right.
Fox's Supergirl has some crazy gray, like really awesome Supergirl suit that I haven't seen any other Supergirl use so far.
Okay.
So like everybody's character looks different because the gear is really
That
cool. Like
sounds cool, then.
Batman, I've seen like 20 different cowls that he's wearing that are
Yeah,
super
I mean,
sick.
Interesting.
That's the worry right now is that if you play online, are people gonna play the gear?
They're gonna
version?
have
There
Yeah.
are definitely people who I've tried to turn on the gear mode, and they're like, "Nah, fam, I'm not turning it on." And they have way better gear than me, and I can't beat them. I hit him 8 times, and he hits me once, and damage.
But I mean, just like, because the thing is, then if people get good at that, obviously, then the game does become like kind of like it's gonna come out. And there's gonna be like DLC like to pay to buy better
Right.
gear
Of course.
and all this kind of
Of
stuff.
course,
like
that must be what they're setting up. It's just gems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
but
really
I
smart,
think
though.
I think it's
that's
cool.
smart.
I like the gear a lot because I think
I-
it's great for casuals.
I
I think
yeah.
casuals will be all about it.
Absolutely,
Like
yeah.
casual players will love the gear.
I mean, okay, so it's good that the aesthetics will be there still at least.
Yeah,
Because
that's
that's
awesome.
customization.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm down for that.
It's a super deep amount of options too, because like I said, I've been watching videos and people are playing the same character, and they have wildly different outfits. So it makes me
Yeah,
happy
I think
that
that's nice.
there's actually like costumes in the game that you don't have to like choose from.
Yeah,
It's
but
just a
the
bummer
the
that
problem
they're
is like
not
like
balanced.
even if you're a casual player and you're playing them, for example, like let's say you give Superman this little horizontal charge
Right.
thing, but then he's like, I'm really interested in playing this game competitively, and then that's like, I can't use this move.
That's
Yeah.
why I saw in
So
test.
what?
I
Get
saw-
over it.
I don't know, maybe that's like your favorite move. You're like,
So what?
I saw in test
I
my.
think that's gonna be tough, man.
They were
I like driving on the other side of the road. Well, you can't do that here. Oh, well.
Well, you can. In
I
some
saw-
Well,
places.
England's
Yeah.
not really
In some places.
England's
I saw-
not really kind of a thing that you can just attach to Los Angeles. You know?
Maybe. Who
I saw-
knows?
There's a discussion on Test Your Might about whether the special moves should be allowed, like whether the customization for the special moves should be allowed.
dude.
Yeah, I think the special moves. There's a chance they might make the tournament.
I think it's like the variation
System.
system, but with more control.
Customize- right. So could you?
Do you not like the idea of it, or how it is in practice?
Okay, look. I
what
think
if they just make it so that like they limit it, like everybody can add only one special move?
Well, you can only add 2 special moves, and some special moves count as
That's
both
2.
slots.
Yeah.
Oh,
So there's a max.
really?
There's already a max.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
okay,
the game.
okay,
the game
okay.
already has a max.
Okay.
I think
okay.
that could be interesting for competitive mode. Yeah.
I like that idea, but you're not for it.
No, dude. I don't. Look, I've played. So in Tekken, you can do this. You can equip items that give you access to new moves.
I didn't know there were moves that were
Dude,
different.
Yeah, you
King
can,
gets a new super move now because he gets. They
I
have
did
this
not know
Rainmaker
that.
thing.
Oh, that's right.
That's what
yeah,
they do.
yeah,
So it was
yeah.
like in older games, he can get a chair and it changed his throw. But not only did it change his throw, it changed the way they woke up too. So it's like instead of laying them over there, they're laying right here, and you get new options.
I
And I'm
see.
like, I don't think you want to do that in a tournament setting. Like you don't to go in and test all of that. I feel like that's going to be something.
Okay,
really
I can see that being an issue, but not everybody had access to that stuff, right? Like you had to like unlock
console
it,
put like this.
right?
Even though everybody had the console version and every tournament was ran on the console version of Tekken, they did not allow customizations
Yeah.
because of
But
that.
I mean, that's the thing. So the Injustice ones, though,
I'm afraid that the
you have
gear
to
you're gonna have to
unlock
unlock.
them. Yeah, you have to unlock everything.
If
right?
the special moves are also unlock required, then okay, fine. No,
Never
problem.
mind.
I think they are.
Probably don't
NetherRealm,
have
you
them.
can unlock fatalities. You think they're not gonna let you lock all that? That's money in the bank. Like, hey,
Well,
you
the thing
want
about-
all of them? Doo-doo-doo.
That's
Put
the
down
thing
the
about
crypt or whatever the equivalent is,
The
yeah.
difference with NRS is that they would just give tournaments codes to put on their consoles so they can unlock everything.
I mean, I understand that, but I
Yeah.
even still feel like that. Like,
But
just
for
a
players, it's just like it sucks that like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to learn how to use this move. How do I find? Like now you got to look up how to unlock it. What if it's a
Yeah,
random
that's
chance?
al-
What
that's
if they
always
make
been a
it?
hassle.
What if they
Yeah.
make it like Guilty Gear fishing? You know, like to get
But
things.
that's
like
why I'm
loot
happy.
crates,
I'm
loot-
happy that they already have a competitive mode in the beta that you
Yeah.
can turn on and there's no gear, but your character still gets to look cool from all the gear.
I guess that's a compromise. That's all
Yeah.
right.
See,
Like
I think that's cool.
I'm
'cause
like-
you still get the customize
I'm
your
already
character.
100% sure that ranked mode will have 0 gear and player match will be gear optional. And I think
Still
that's a
in
super.
NetherRealm.
I think that's a
Just
super
don't-
good way
don't
to
go
handle
too
it.
far.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to handle
No,
it.
I think that would be a perfect way to handle
Because
it.
even when you play
I just-
matches with no gear on, you still unlock new gear.
Right, but the thing, like I said, the thing
make
that
your
makes
character
me
look cool.
the thing that makes me sad then is that people will get used to doing things with their
yeah,
gear.
I think that's probably
And
true.
then all of a sudden they're not going to have access to it in ranked, and then they're going to be like, I don't ever want to play ranked, and then a tournament's not going to let me use my favorite move, then forget this.
I
you know?
think
Yeah.
for
That probably,
casual,
I mean, on the margins, that probably will happen. Probably not a ton,
Well,
but
Yeah.
probably will.
Yeah, there's tons of NRS players who are casual, who just like watch events and play, And I think they'll be totally fine just playing the gear. There's a lot of that community that's just like, I don't really care about competing. Like, I'm just gonna play and have fun.
Well, I mean, look,
We've
every
seen
game
this
that
before. Like, this isn't the first time we've seen games that gave you the option to do all these extravagant things, and you play the lesser because
and don't
you
get
want
me
that.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's not even just NRS. Every community is like us. FGC is like maybe 5 to 10% of the people that
That's
play the
playing.
game.
Oh, that's
less than
optimistic.
that.
Yeah.
Definitely less than that.
So it's probably far less than that. So I totally get why the gear is there because that's like great.
I think
Dude.
I think it's cool. If I'm playing with my little cousins, like Steve, I'm playing Justice 2 too, but I use all this on. I'm like, psh, cool, I wouldn't care unless you started talking shit.
Yeah.
And then I would have to beat him up.
You gotta
But
dunk.
for the time
But
being,
were you okay with gems in Cross Tekken?
no, I like what they did. The only time I was ever okay with added on power up anything was Marvel superheroes.
Well, but you're okay with casuals having gear? Is that maybe I misunderstand?
Yeah,
No,
it's so-
customization wise, I'm cool with.
Do you mean aesthetic only?
Aesthetic only. I do not want you to have access to
GTO
special.
Gear actually says a kind of an interesting point too. Even from the casual standpoint, it might be bad because like if you're a casual player and let's say you're trying to get into the game 6 months later, everybody else has gear
Dead.
all over the place.
No, you're right.
You can't get in there
Yeah.
anymore, right?
Yeah, it's tough to level up your character to then
Right. Then it
110,
becomes
right?
a
You gotta get all
World
the
of
legendaries.
Warcraft kind of PvP
You need
kind of
skill-based
thing where
matchmaking,
you need
probably.
more
I hear
time,
you.
right?
Yeah,
So-
I think if you have skill-based matchmaking,
And
you can probably
even
minimize.
World of Warcraft, when you're in like an arena,
Like
when you're
PvP
playing
and
against somebody
stuff?
else, PvP, yeah, like it gets rid of now. It does the extra advantages of
Yeah.
gear.
Oh,
like,
really?
Cause
Yeah.
it's-
Also, that's one thing that gear.
Even they do that now.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. There was like a thing in the beta about equalizing character levels, so that like they were like both characters were the same level, so that there wasn't going to be like a weird
Now-
scenario where somebody
now-
was super
Right.
buff.
Now I will
Okay.
say, if they could say no competitive and you still get those added moves, not as bad, but I still feel like you run into the same situation
Yeah.
where there will be new situations that you have to adapt to.
I guess I just feel like it should be possible to balance around the special moves.
Look,
Like if there are like
it's
3 or
just
4
like-
special moves, I feel like
I mean,
it's and the game starts with the special moves, not with the like looks of the gear or like you do 10% extra damage. Just the special moves being pickable.
Yeah.
I feel like that could
I
lead
mean-
to like interesting variety.
I
Do
agree,
you
yeah.
feel like they should have options for? Do you think that if they get access to this move, that they should lose another move? Do you think it should just replace
That's
another
how it
move?
works right
see
now.
what I'm saying right now? Smash Wii U. We've already
Yeah.
had this.
Yeah,
I was very
We
much
had-
like that.
Yeah,
But
we
there's-
had
but
customs already.
but that's in that situation. You had to grind like stupid
Right,
stuff.
yeah,
In order
exactly,
to get the special. I remember
exactly.
doing that. That was terrible.
Uh-huh,
but
uh-huh.
if instead it just starts with the pickable special moves, I don't know if they could do that. They probably won't. But I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, it could be.
But if it's not like that, if you have to grind for it, then fine. They shouldn't be in there.
Yeah, I think the gear is
That's
cool.
all, man.
I think it's cool for casuals.
Like I just
It looks nice.
I just
Yeah.
really like the variation system, alright? I think it's
Yeah, I
sick
think it
that
is too.
Kano is a
Oh,
grappler
yeah,
and a zoner and a mid-range character.
uh-huh.
Like, I think that's sick, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if there could be something like that in Injustice, I'm all for that, but if it's not practical, then okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but the game is really fun. I think
Anyway.
I think the gear system is actually really cool.
Working warrior. You're right. It's not gonna work, David.
It probably won't.
See, the way they should do it is that each month that goes by, as like when you first log in online, like they have like their like NetherRealms account, right? The first time you log in, like each month you get more and more points to like spend on gear.
That game-
Just leveling up, yeah.
That game
Yeah.
has so many people playing, and
'Cause, I
it's
mean-
going to be such a big sell to everybody. It's going to be like the best selling fighting game, right?
I mean,
it's like
isn't-
it's just
isn't
going to
that-
sell like a crazy amount of copies.
Isn't that like how
Probably.
WoW kind of is now? Like when you create a character, don't you start at like level 30 already?
Oh, if you
or
start a
something?
new one now, if you like, or you buy a new character, you can do it either way. Yeah, you start at 100.
I just thought about it.
You start at 100, you still got to get up to 110. So you're not at max level.
Right.
Well, they just put you at 100.
Well, it's been throughout
Right,
the
yeah,
every
yeah,
expansion is like 10 more. So,
Right, yeah,
so
yeah.
now it's
What-
at 100 to 110.
Okay.
What if like they do the seasonal thing, and instead of you getting to select those moves, kind of like how they did in Guilty Gear, they just eventually work them into the game.
Okay.
Like it just, they
Maybe.
might not have those two moves that season, but in the second DLC patch,
guess I'm not opposed to
bam,
that. I don't know, it
might
could be
actually be
interesting.
pretty good. Now that would be interesting.
It could be
If
interesting.
you gave me a seasonal, I'm getting a new move. I feel like there's not many games that do that anyway. Give my character a new move, and then that way I'll have more incentive to go back to relearn that character. Because
Yeah.
NRS games are notorious for it. Obviously, we all know that.
Because like remember, Rising Thunder did the same thing. You could pick your special move.
Right.
For certain
Right,
things.
yeah, that's
but everything
totally-
was instantly available.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it was
if it's like that, then I'm for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Will they do that? You're probably right that they won't.
It's probably just going to be competitive mode as the default character. default stats, but you get to wear your gear and look cool.
Yeah,
Which
and,
is totally
and
cool
by
with me.
that, yeah, okay, that's cool on its own.
I think that the whole gear system to me just seems like a cool way to give casual people something to do. Like another reason to stay and play the game, right? Is to grind
That's
and
what I
unlock
like
new
about
gear.
it. That's what I like about it. Yeah.
And it is cool that people can make their character look how they want. Like that matters too.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I actually like that better than like full blown
like my Superman
in by the
no,
company.
totally.
My Superman, I unlocked this cool headpiece thing that like I haven't seen anybody else wear. I don't even know what it's like. This weird like metal.
Do people know how the drops
stupid,
work? Like, is
man.
it random? Do you get random gear?
I have no idea. I don't know if anybody's done the research, but he has like this. I have like a special S emblem for my Superman, and then like a metal face mask thing that he's wearing that like it looks crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I just need to call GTO Akira like our correspondent in the
what
chat.
do you got, GTO Akira?
But look, he was basically saying like one of the problems is still that it doesn't feel like a comic book. It still has
the music
crappy music.
Oh, look,
and,
you got to know what you're signing up for, man.
Yeah. Welcome to Injustice.
NRS games,
Injustice.
Like, they have weird looking movements. What they do.
Yeah.
They're not gonna not
their
do
dash
that.
still goes.
Yeah, the
know?
little
their legs
little
are like.
feet. Yeah, it's
funny
gonna be
because-
like that. Like, there's not gonna be music. That sucks. I
They
totally
do
get
have
it, but
music. It's just super ominous and like
it's
Right,
I
no,
was-
but dude,
like it's
Wait,
so whack.
Everybody,
Jesus.
hold on. I was streaming the game. I'm streaming it to my stream, and people in the chat are like, "Yo, why'd you turn the music off? Why is there no music? Like, why'd you turn the music volume down?" I went to options. Music is set to 10. 10 out of 10 on the volume level. My
It's
music was
legitimately-
maxed out.
It's like funeral music. It's like you're walking into a home to pick out
Haven't I
a
said
casket.
like if you played MKX and it was the whole time was going Mortal Kombat,
That'd be sick, dude.
like it would
That'd be
like
sick.
the game
Look,
would
James,
be so sick.
I played so much Mortal Kombat in my life, and the only MK song that I can recall is that one.
Right.
That's not even, yeah.
Mortal Kombat 2 had some of the
I
sickest
just don't
music.
remember
Mortal
MK1
Kombat
or
2 and
MK2.
3?
Like,
Jesus,
MK1
man. That music
no,
was
I know that
amazing.
stage. I recognize that stage.
That
Look,
shit is good.
it's terrible.
It's
terrible.
That shit is
Yeah.
tight, man. Whatever, dude.
All awful.
I actually can't tell you the music to a single Mortal Kombat X stage.
Of course you
And
can.
I have
I
played the
have
game.
Actually, you know what? I can.
Which one?
Is it Jinsei Chamber?
Oh, because you picked that one a lot?
Yeah, just
I
because
can
I,
kind of
just
think
'cause
of
I
what it
use that for
sounds like.
training mode,
Like, couldn't
basically.
you,
That's
couldn't you
all.
like could you imagine if like on the Batman stage you hear
That would be fucking. That would be sick.
That'd be sick.
The animated style will be hype as hell, man.
Sick, man.
Get the Danny Elfman, get
Super
the
sick.
John Williams.
Hey. You know, I
You're
always-
just gonna be disappointed, friends. That's all.
I
Look,
always-
I
it'd be
heard
awesome.
the music today. I
Yeah.
did, and I was playing, and I was just like, why do I feel like I'm in like a funeral home, like playing
Yeah.
this game? It
That's
was so
intentional.
sad.
Like, that's what they do.
Jesus, man, they need
Yo.
y'all need a new sound guy because that
I'm
is
telling
horrible.
you.
That shit was boring,
I'm
and
telling
I was
you.
about to cry.
They got good sound people. That's the thing. Like, the sound itself
great.
is good.
It's good.
The music is
come on,
completely
give me something,
forgettable.
man.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. The fact that every time I start my stream, I always play music. The fact that I've fighting game music. The fact that I've never picked music from a single NRS game.
Right.
Because I can't remember a damn theme. But I still play Marvel themes all the time. I play Marvel 2 and Marvel 3's themes all day. But I can't remember a single NRS theme. And
Marvel themes are iconic. People
Yeah.
still compare the new Marvel themes to the old Marvel
Somebody
themes. You know?
tweeted at me today. Was like, "Yo, you kept playing the cave theme on your stream, and now it's like stuck in my head." I was like,
We gotta hide
"Yeah,
Man, that is man.
yeah."
You know,
That's
I
good
didn't
stuff.
really like Marvel 2 bass music until I went to all these tournaments and they started changing it. Like, at first I was just like, man, get this shit out of here. Give me the NFL, pick my character thing. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun,
for sure.
I was like, this is sick. And then,
pretty
like, after like 4 months, I'm like, I want to go for a ride. Come on, man.
Everybody misses
I
that.
just want to go for a ride, damn it. You know?
Anyway, they're not gonna make good music. You just gotta know that's what you're signing up for. But the rest of the game sounds like it's cool.
No,
I gotta
it's-
try it myself.
Look, if
Certainly
I'm having
Injustice
fun, I
1
know
was.
it's good.
Well,
Yeah.
look, I mean, you've played it a little bit. You just haven't had a chance yet,
I mean,
right?
I've had plenty of chances. I just haven't felt like playing video games.
Just
Yeah,
give me
yeah,
your
I
code.
know,
I
I know.
will play it.
I already used the code.
Well, so you don't have a code?
I don't have a code.
So I don't have a code either.
Oh,
That's why I
man.
haven't played it. I would have tried it. I don't have a code.
I
for
would
it.
have been
games.
playing it. Damn
NRS,
Look,
NRS, come on.
Here's
come
what
on.
happened. The day the codes went out, I checked my email and I was like, I'm gonna have to make an esports call.
Oh man.
I hopped on the phone to the nearest NRS cop. I was like,
So I'm gonna have to do
That's
this.
what
I'm gonna have to pull
I
some
found
muscle
one
here.
in my Twitter DMs. I didn't need to do anything at all. They
Yeah.
were just like, here you go. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, so I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself,
Sorry, I haven't played it. So
I'm thinking to myself, like,
Dude, someone in the chat said it's white code privilege. Dude.
oh, is that what it is?
It's starting to feel that way. It is starting to look that way.
Just hit up the
I'm not
NRS
surprised. The
comps.
political state of the United States is just complete. No, I'm messing around.
Just hit up the NRS comps.
I need to, but I definitely want to play it because I had a lot of fun playing it.
Isn't it like once you become president, you have to like your looks and stuff become public property, right?
What do you mean?
I mean, you can't. There's some limitations still, but in
so
general,
you
not.
probably
yeah.
couldn't put Donald Trump in Mortal Kombat X and like do fatalities on him or anything like that.
It's arguable.
I think you could. Remember they put
It's arguable.
they put like
Well, they put
Bill
like
Clinton and
in
Obama
NBA Jam.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
what was that
That was
game?
NBA Jam you're talking about.
No, it was a game more recently. It was Obama was in there,
Oh.
and I think I can't remember who else. It was like Bill Clinton was in there as well,
Oh, yeah.
and it was that free roaming game, the destruction game. Oh man,
I don't
somebody knows what I'm talking about. I know they know what I'm
In
talking
any case,
about.
yeah, I mean, you might be able to have him in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
But yeah, NBA Jam definitely had like Clinton
Yeah, there's
and
Clinton in
stuff
there,
like that.
yeah.
So, oh, boom, shakalaka. Anyways,
Anyways,
okay, I need a code. NRS. I
they're
need a
not
code.
watching this.
No, they're definitely
He needs
not
a code.
watching.
He needs a
I
They're
code.
definitely not watching.
Someone clip this and like tweet
Send it to
out.
NRS.
Send it to
Saints
NRS.
Row. That
Look.
was the game.
Oh,
Wait, no, it's
Saints
not
Row,
Saints Row.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
not it. That's definitely not it.
All I know is that like a lot of the top
could be wrong.
a lot of the top NRS like players have codes and like none of them were streaming. So I guess I was like,
What a bunch
someone's
of
got to
morons.
stream it. I'll do it. So I just been
You've
streaming.
been taking up those sweet stream numbers, lapping them up.
Dude, I like the first time I turned it on, I had like 700 for Street Fighter or something. I switched to Injustice Boom 1K. I was like, esports
Those
numbers.
esports numbers.
Esports numbers.
Okay.
I put all the gear on. I was like, guys, check out my sweet Neato gear. And like all the casuals were like, oh, gear, bro. And I was like, yeah. That's how it went. That was the whole thing.
Well, it's a good thing those casuals are definitely not watching this show.
There's not a show
You
for the
scare them
casuals.
off
Yeah, I'd scare them
with your
off.
bros. Anything else about Injustice Beta for now?
It's sick. I'm a big fan.
I like
Netcode feels great. Gameplay feels great.
It'd be nice to actually be able to play it.
As someone who
It'll be around
started
for a little while.
who started their competitive like play in Injustice 1, feels good, man.
That's wild.
Feels good,
That
man.
was your first competitive game. That was
Yeah.
like 3 years ago, man.
Sure was.
Yeah.
Look where I am
It
now.
was literally 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's actually what it was.
Yeah. And then that's when I started commenting.
Okay.
What a time! All right, well, I guess that's it for that. Keep an eye on that. Do you want to take a break and then we can talk about maybe Frosties?
Yeah, let's talk about Frosty Faustings after this. Be right back.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Sometimes I can't help it. What's up? We're back at the Tuesday show. Let's talk now about Frosty Faustings tournament, which happened this past weekend up in the Upper Midwest. And you know what? Had some interesting results, interesting games. It's not the Street Fighter V focus that everybody else is, which is cool.
Yeah.
But
nice.
that
Although there was a big
Street
one
Fighter
there.
5 tournament was amazing.
It was a good one.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Frosty. I'm so mad that I could not go again.
Dude,
Oh,
God.
it makes me so mad because I
It's
told
like-
him I was going to be there this year.
Yeah.
And nothing worked out. Like,
That sucks,
everything
man.
just went to hell. So,
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the events that I have wanted to go to the most.
Yeah.
Out of all. And you know what? The other beautiful thing about Frosty Fausting is, and I say this every single year, is that thing is a 2-day event.
It's a Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
More
Friday, Saturday.
Tournaments.
I was about to say they ran
made-
more games. Anyway,
Yeah.
They ran more games
Yeah,
than
they
most
had
tournaments.
exhibitions. And,
And-
yeah, no, but on Sunday they were still hanging out.
Yeah.
More
Like, not officially, but-
people need to do that.
2-day
2-day
events.
turn. Like people are over bloating their tournaments with 3 days. Like
Agreed.
every time Frosty Fausting comes, we have this conversation on
true.
this show. We've talked about it every time, and nobody wants to do a 2-day tournament, and I don't
Yeah.
understand.
And it's weird when like it's 3 days, but all they have on Friday is like a Street Fighter team tournament, and and that's it.
Mhm.
And you're like,
Still
why
win.
is Friday a day of the tournament?
Right.
It's really
That's
not.
like most tournaments are like that.
Yeah, it's like you're not doing anything Friday. Like, what's the whole point of this?
But you know the most important victory that came out of Frosty Faustings, right?
Yes. Tell us.
The no pineapple team battle that happened. No
Actually,
pineapple won.
After no pineapple one, I really wanted to get a pizza with some pineapple.
So you're just
on
gonna
it.
go
We
against
should
the
try that.
tournament results?
You want to just order a pizza and have pineapple on it?
Dude, I've done
There's a
that.
Domino's like right down the street.
I've eaten
It's, like,
pineapple
right
on
over there.
pizzas many times.
I have too. I'm just saying we could just do it here.
I've never
Look.
actually. I don't have a problem with pineapple on pizza, but I've never been like, let me get some pineapple on my
Same here.
pizza.
Yeah, if
Let
somebody
me-
orders pineapple on a pizza and they ask me if I want some, why not? But yeah, I've never been like pineapple's the one we gotta get. I've never thought that.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
I
in
don't
that
mind it.
position.
Like, I like it. If I like when work used to order lots of pizzas, I would always get one slice of the Hawaiian pizza
Sure,
because I like
whatever.
pineapples.
My position on this is I would never order pineapple on my pizza, ever. I would like not ever order it. But if someone ordered pizza and they're like, hey, you have a slice here, there's pineapple on it. As long as there's not like
An
30
entire pineapple on the pizza.
I might like
Yeah,
I
you
might
know.
have a slice.
Someone in the chat suggested an apple core pizza.
Come on, man.
I want
You might as well just take your trash can and dump it on the pizza as toppings, put it back in the oven, and then have David come over there and finish it off. That's what you
use
should do.
banana peel and apple core pizza.
Oh, is this an old tax return? Let me
Orange
just-
rind.
What is this, a receipt
Some
from
Samantha
Walmart? Just
paper
dump that
or
right on
whatever,
top. Put me some spicy stuff on there.
I'm not a goat, all right.
Dude,
I mean,
pretty
I wouldn't be
damn
surprised.
I may be the goat, but I'm not a goat.
You're not a goat, but you're the goat.
Yeah, I just meant
Okay.
that.
You're pretty
Thanks.
close.
Yeah, well, thanks, appreciate it.
Pretty
Uh,
close.
Yeah, I'm
Get a nice
telling
goatee
you.
if I want it.
Could go outside. David's just standing in a tree. David, what are you doing? Get down from there. Because comes in the tree. Anyway.
Yeah, they climb. I know. I'm not much.
The
of a
moral of the
climber.
story is
It's fun though.
they did a 15-on-15 exhibition on Sunday. It was team
Mhm.
likes pineapple on
Dude, I
pizza.
thought it was super cool that Dogura and Goichi were in
I-
that exhibition.
Dude, I thought it was cool until they were on team pineapple, and then I was like, "What the heck is wrong with these
because
guys?"
they have good taste.
Oh
right?
god,
I
I don't know.
almost chopped you in the face.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't.
Ah!
When I saw that, so by the way, I was trying to figure out which team was which, and I saw that GC Yoshi and Marlon Pie were on a team. I was like, that's definitely likes pineapple on pizza. Like, I just totally judged them. I was like, that's definitely team likes pineapple on
sons of
pizza.
bitches.
Yeah, and then I saw
Who raised you?
Yeah, I saw somebody on the not pineapple team, and I was like, that guy knows his stuff. He's definitely not on the likes pineapple team. I just judged it, and I knew which team it was
Just
with.
stereotyping.
Were you
people.
right?
I was right. I mean, I knew. Like, I was just looking. I was like, nah, this fool is definitely
It
not.
seemed
about
like
that
they
life.
would like it.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I agree. I can see that.
Bunch of goobers.
Frosty
Frosty Faustings.
The results. Other than that, let's go to it. Let's head over there. Whoop. What,
There we go.
No,
what
that's pretty
timing?
good.
That's pretty
What
good.
timing? Although I guess the direction was wrong.
Why is this not scroll?
Nah, it's-
Oh, that's right. Because I
It still kind of worked.
It kind of worked. So you want to start with Gear because that's what the final game of the night was.
Sure.
Guilty Gear
Let's do
Xer
that. Guilty Gear
Revelator.
Seventh
One.
place. Speaking of Mr. Pineapple GC Yoshi, we've got GC Yoshi in seventh, tied with the TO of the event, Mr. Elvin Shadow, who used
Mhm.
Faust, and GC Yoshi went with Bedman, of course.
Mhm.
Fifth place, Marlon Pai Zato 1, Faulty Defense with Sin. Fourth place, Japan's Goichi with Milia. Third place, Hotashi with Elfelt. Second place, Bears with Chip.
Yeah.
Yo,
And
that was
first
sick.
Ninja
place,
Way of Bears?
Dogura.
That
Dude,
was
Let's
sick.
Bears was
He played so well, man.
he
That was so sick.
hyped.
Man.
And like I hate Chip, but like I was watching it and it was like I was rooting for Chip, like you couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, that
That's
character
sick.
seems super
Cause
annoying,
man,
but it seems fun.
because if he gets hit, he explodes.
Yeah,
but he's a ninja. Did you see how fast he was moving? Oh man, it was good.
I love the way his
That's
run
cool.
looks.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
he
yeah.
does
His
look
run
for
is
sure,
the coolest
for
thing.
sure,
Yeah,
for
his
Yeah.
coolest run.
But I mean, look, Goichi was there, Dogura was there. Everyone probably thought it was going to be Goichi and Dogura in grand finals.
Right.
The fact that Goichi did not get past Bears nor Hotashi was awesome, and the set between Bears and Hotashi was
Amazing.
That was very good.
Shout out to Hotashi and
Ridiculous.
Bears. Hotashi actually like did a lot of damage this weekend.
Yeah.
Just a lot of good sets played. I mean, he was popping off, and I don't agree with the popping off. But other than that, like great play all around. Like Guilty Gear Tournament was
There was a lot
great.
of popping
Yeah.
off. At
There
that.
was.
It was.
Yeah.
Those-
I also really, really, really liked that Dogura and Goichi went. Like
Oh,
it was
yeah.
just like so
Yeah.
sick,
This was
right?
just a tournament,
Yeah.
and they were just like, yo, we're gonna go to this
Yeah,
tournament.
like it's totally not Street Fighter related at all, really, for them, right? But did you see the picture of all the trophies they got? There's a picture on like Dogra's Twitter, and it's like 9 Frosty Faustings first place trophies, and they're like posing by them, like they're just like mob bosses. They're like, yo, check out how sick we are, right? Like they have all these trophies. I was like,
they basically have to do the thing where they have to buy a new suitcase just to fit.
dude, they had so many trophies. I thought it was super sick that they rolled out there.
And if you look at the top 8, like Japan, Cali, Florida, Japan, New York, Chicago, Texas, Chicago, Cali again. That's crazy. Like that's so good.
It's a good spread.
Even if you go further down, it's still good. You got Doran, and he's from the Midwest, Alabama, I believe. Fu, also from Cali.
Fu and Zidane, I think.
Sim, Midwest, Chicago, I believe. Blood Wolf is I can't remember where he's from, so forgive me. And of course, Kizzy K.
Just means he's not important to you, right? Steve?
That's not true. Decline. I've seen him. He's from Nebraska. And I don't know Silver Hydra. If we've ever met, I do apologize, but I don't remember where he's from. But just the diversity in that
regions,
that's
really
so good. I think that's cool as hell.
Guilty Gear is a good game. Play it. Play Guilty Gear.
Please play Guilty Gear. It's so cool.
Bears made Dogra switch characters, right?
Apparently, Chip versus Raven is that matchup
seemed
is
really bad for Raven, huh?
Apparently,
can't jump, dude. He's one of these characters that stays right here, and Chip's like, "Oh, you're gonna jump? Cool, I'll be over there now." And because he can teleport right behind you.
He has uses Raven, and he said that he has so much trouble beating bears, and like he said after he saw the Dogra like get blown up, he was like, "Well, I don't feel bad anymore." So
cool. That was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right, well, what else happened?
Let's see. Let's go down here. We had Street Fighter V. This was a pretty cool tournament too. 7th place, and so look, 9th place. Goichi with Chun-Li.
Yeah.
Goichi did not even make top 8, right? So 7th place
guy?
with Dogra and the Cool Kid.
Yep.
5th place was Mojo and Arturo Sanchez.
Mojo's Mika though. Oh, so nice. I
4th
learned
place
something.
was K-Brad.
Yeah.
3rd place was Wolf Crone. 2nd place was NY Chris G.
EG. What a
NY
showing.
Chris G.
And he looks so good in that jersey, Mike. I
saw
him in that jersey. I was like, damn, Chris,
dude.
Let's go.
I saw that and I was like, Chris looks good in that
he
jersey.
Looks so. It seems like it's like perfect for him. I think that's so cool.
It was really weird for me to see him in that jersey.
I agree.
It was weird, but it was a good look. It was good to see Chris in a jersey. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I saw. I was just like, let's go, Chris, because that guy can do damage, you know?
To me, it was just like, he'd been battling against Evil Genius so long, and then watching him turn from his other bannerman and don that, like, jersey, I was like, oh my god.
It's like they walked into a castle, and it's like, yeah, it's time to finish this, and like, Chris steps out in front of him, he's like, Chris, what are you doing? And he like puts on the jersey.
And
he turns around and kills everybody.
Yeah, he like pledged. It's like he had spent so long battling them, and then he pledged his sword to them. It's like, oh my god.
I was sad that Chris was so reserved after he beat Wolf Crone.
Oh,
I was expecting
he beat
the
his
teammate pop off, you know. But
I really wanted him to be like, get the fuck out of here. You can't beat my teammate, and then think you're gonna just come up here and shake my hand. Oh man.
Yeah, the Wolf Crone pop off after beating K-Brad in not like a blow up of his set or anything. It wasn't
pretty close.
I think one round was a perfect for a blow up, but other than that, it was close.
Yeah, it was 2-1.
Yeah. But I mean, they have a beef. They do have a beef.
A forming beef at that. That beef
continuing.
is getting pretty juicy.
It's
It's getting pretty beefy, yeah.
It's aging, for sure.
And then, of course, first place was Liquid Knuckle 2, who went
Obviously.
up with a lot of Armika.
Yeah.
Armika, when she
Two
gets
Mikas in top 8?
She hasn't changed when she gets you into the corner.
She's got to get you to the
She's
corner.
not bad.
And if she gets barred, like, the thing is about it, like, Mika still has the opportunity to get you to the corner in one mix-up. Like, if she gets Irish Whip, Dash, EX, Peach, you're in the corner anyway. You just don't have any resources after that, you know? So.
Yeah, I mean, look, Armika, to me, I feel like she just went from being, like, really cheap and annoying in Season 1 to being fair and, like, still really good.
People are still getting more juice out of that character, too. Like, Fudo is starting to do forward fierce anti-air more now for the pop-up. Like, that character had more juice, and so she's going to keep developing.
And I still haven't seen anyone use the James Chan and Olaf tech, which is the crouching medium kick confirmed in the critical art. You can link it. You can link it kind of like. I mean, you have to be close enough. You can't do it at the tip. But if you're anywhere like here, you can hit it and then just link.
I
right
see.
into
I
the
see. Well, nobody
trigger.
wants to be at the tip anyway. It's not a good
Yeah,
spot.
that's true.
The sick thing that Thuoghts doing a lot too is crouching medium kick whip punish into Nadeshko call.
Oh yeah.
And then doing EX Peach.
Okay,
He's been doing that. He did that a lot in season 1 too, but way more now because that button is more valuable than clap.
Yeah, that mic kill was so
The
sick.
microphone
That
kill
was
was the most amazing
Spiked
thing.
Do you think he did that on purpose? There's no way he
I
did.
he
don't
just
think
threw
so,
it,
but
Yeah.
yeah. It worked
He
out
threw the
awesomely.
mic and it happened to hit, but man, like I'll tell you, Knuckle Deu's style of Mika is like
It's scary.
almost not affected at all by the nerfs. I feel like his style is like, all right, I'm either gonna dash command throw, or I'm gonna dash forward, wait for you to hit a button, and then whip punish, or I'm gonna jump, or like whatever. It's like all hard reads and footsies and patience. So it's like when you watch him, he doesn't need any of the silly stuff from before. And if anybody saw U-League, he was playing Mika there and beating everybody. Like it's to me, like when I saw it this weekend, I was like, people just haven't seen it much
She's still
because
pretty good.
he haven't traveled that much in season 2, right? It hasn't been as much.
Wow,
So
it's been 2
Yeah.
months,
So-
month and a half.
it was
Oh,
really
that
good.
Chris G taunt combo was pretty nice too.
That was sick.
That was cool.
It was alright.
It's like, Urian's taunt is sick.
Yeah.
Does he actually hit when he does the taunt?
No, I don't
No,
think
no,
so.
no.
He just like raises his arm.
Because I got killed. I was playing online against some Urian,
Yeah.
and he did Aegis, and I jumped back, and I thought I was at far enough range so that I could hit a button and I wouldn't die. And he did this, the taunt,
Yeah.
and the hand. I died when the hand was here against my hurt
Mirror?
box.
Oh, okay.
And I think what must have happened is that I hit the mirror,
Mirror.
but like it really looked like I was being killed by the hand anyway.
Yeah. You have to play against Rich's Urian, I saw.
You have to.
I did. I
He
played
did.
Oh, you
against
did.
him.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I got eaten up.
He's really good.
But
Huh?
yeah, I mean, honestly,
I think he's better than a lot of other folks.
I keep
His
telling
Urian is
people
so
he's one of
good.
the best Urians in the country.
For
and
sure,
like
man.
free.
He got like 13th at Wednesday Night Fights the other week, or 9th or something.
I just really like the storylines that developed there. One, Knuckle Dew is still doing well, and he's doing it with Mika. Also, E.G. Chris G, Wolf Crone coming in here and just like being he's pretty much like the heel right
Yeah,
now. Right?
He's
He's
hell
always
of a
been the
heel.
heel.
Right,
yeah.
he's the heel right now.
But
Whenever
now
he
he's
plays, he's
winning
the
a
heel.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now
And
he's
then
winning
K
more.
Brad
It's cool.
still being very dominant with his cammy.
It's also in top 8 and then lost to Laura. Oh well. What are you gonna do?
Laura, so to me, Laura, Balrog, and Urian are the one mix-up characters. Like they're not as strong as all the other characters, but as soon as they hit you, Ibuki's kind of the same way a little bit. As soon as
Wait,
they
did you
hit
say
you,
Urian
V-trigger.
is not as good as other characters?
No, I say the one mix-up character
Oh, okay.
guys probably are not as strong as Cammy and Guile in the long run.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll see.
I mean,
But-
those characters
See.
did the same thing in season 1.
Right.
Most of their,
You mean when I thought they were already super good?
they were all good, yeah.
Mhm.
Like the thing is, they do the same thing they
Already.
did. People always talk about how like, man,
Well,
this.
Laura, I think, is significantly.
Well, we'll talk about the top
Okay,
fives
okay,
later
yeah,
on.
yeah.
But yeah, all those characters still do the same thing they do now and that they did in season 1. It's just,
They're better at it. So.
I mean, they do like the same damage. Like none of them got more damage really.
Balrog got more
He got new
damage.
combos,
Yeah,
but
right.
his damage is like the same on all
but
the
the effective
V-triggers.
damage output is better.
He did the same
Hella
thing
better.
basically.
What?
Oh, Broly legs. He said he'd be a heel, but ...
Yeah.
Man. Brawly Legs, that dude is actual. If y'all have never met Brawly Legs, make sure you introduce yourself. That dude is
He's a nice
trip.
fella.
He is super nice.
I don't know, dude. I have photo evidence of him running over me with his table, dude.
Dang.
What a butthole.
Yeah, and then like just while pouring salt on me too.
Oh.
Man. All right. What else happened?
All right, so Blaze Blue
America
Central
beat Japan,
Fiction.
got it.
Wrong.
Actually, they
Oh,
did.
I mean, Dogoro was 7th and Luigi was 9th.
In
Well,
Street Fighter?
In Street Fighter.
Yeah,
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Street Fighter 5
Blaze Blue,
is
I think
America's
so.
game, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
Blaze
right, yeah.
Blue.
Japanese people are bad at Street Fighter 5.
Blaze Blue, 7th place was Flux and Ichigo cross Rukia. 5th place was Koopa Claus and Banana Can. 4th
Banana
place,
can.
Kizzy K.
Wait,
3rd
what?
place,
He's
Jonah.
back from the dead? All right.
2nd place, Super Kawaii Desu. And 1st place was Dogura.
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 You gotta say it like that. Dogura.
I'm
Dogura.
gonna let you guys do
Sick.
that.
Or do the.
He's got a fun Azrael
do
man, no doubt.
Nuki style. Dogura.
Dogra has nice hair.
He's not a bad looking fella.
Okay. But yeah, no,
I got
it was
you.
really
Nobody
good.
disagreed with
It
me.
was a really. I'm not.
How are you gonna disagree with that?
Yeah, all right.
I'm-
That's what I
so
thought.
top 8 was pretty sick for Blaze Blue though.
Yeah,
Really
dude, that game
good.
was awesome.
Really good. So.
One day it'll make it to Evo.
One day.
One day.
And it might even get a Sunday slot. Who knows?
We'll see, buddy.
Sounds
I didn't
unlikely.
even know the beautiful dude played this game, dude.
Oh yeah, he plays. He came over and he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I've actually been playing more Blaze Blue than Guilty Gear,
Oh,
so
damn.
I gotta get back. And he even said, he's like, I gotta play more Guilty Gear. So
MKXL, 7th place, Ambu Train and Jared John. 5th place, Chris G and Crazy Raw Dog, 88. 4th place, Footwork. 3rd place, Frosty Bunny. 2nd
Footwork?
place, Chaotic Damaja. And 1st place, Noble Tweety.
Yeah, I didn't watch.
It was not a super stacked MK event, but Tweety is really good.
Chris G got 5th place.
Yeah, it was
I
crazy.
think it was Frosty Bunny like popped off on him after he won. And Chris G was like, I don't even play the game.
Yeah, and that's not even an OS. That's like he
Yeah,
really
it's for
doesn't
real,
play.
Yeah. Super Smash Brothers Wii U. By the way, Frosty Faustings had like 19 games, right? So
Yeah.
Smash
days.
Brothers Wii U. 7th place was ST Vermilion and Dare to Dream. 5th place JJ Rockets and Bushi. 4th place Knight. 3rd place MVG Dyer. And 2nd place You Are Ned. 1st place C9 Ally.
All right.
Okay. Super Smash Brothers Melee. 7th place Trix and Mech. 5th place Michael and Vero. 4th place David Q. 3rd place Fanny Pack. 2nd place GHQ Kells. And 1st place Dreffin.
Some folks are saying 30 games. Curly W and Callisto are saying 30
30
different games.
yes,
There
that's
you
dude.
go.
They had
Jeez Louise.
2 days. 2
And
days.
they finished all of it too. They finished all of it. King of Fighters 14.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. MKX is in the doldrums.
Should I just do? I don't want to do only top 4 because then I would skip Nerd Josh, who's not invited, by the way, and that's really sad.
And that sucks.
Yeah. So 7th place is. Oops, sorry. Hang on a second. 7th place is Nerd Josh, as well as KCO Pedro. 5th place was Kane Blue River, who is invited, as well as James Jr. 4th place was Goichi. 3rd place Mooney Blues. 2nd place Violent Kane, and 1st place El Rosa.
Rosa.
All right. Dang.
Look
all
at how
right,
little that
ST.
slide bar is over on the side there. There's
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of
we're
games.
gonna let's.
I gotta make it home before midnight,
Let's
James.
winnow it down a little
Super
bit here.
Turbo, Super Turbo. 4th
Won
place
by Roy
Renegade.
Bissell. Congrats,
3rd
man.
place Mad King. 2nd place Immortal. 1st place Roy Bissell.
Hey, sick. I know all those
Says
guys.
Bissell. It's supposed to be Bissell.
Yeah, Roy Bissell.
Killer Instinct, 4th place. Young
Good
Tate.
job, Robin.
Scary Larry in 3rd. Wheels in 2nd. Circa Nikki in 1st.
Forgot he goes by Wheels now.
Yeah, Wheels is funny.
Who's
Man, by the
Wheels?
way, watching his tusk,
It's too good, right?
so sick.
Who goes by Wheels? Is
Dayton
that
J.
Oh, Dayton
That's
J.
Dayton,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He goes by Wheels.
4th place in
pretty good.
It was a really good top
UMBC 3 is IGT Unknown. 3rd place SJ. 2nd place Flux. 1st place Ryan LV.
I watched that one too. That was sick, man.
Yeah, that was
Ryan
really
LV. Oh yeah, he's so good. His team's absurd.
Man, dude.
Vampire Savior. 4th place was Alaris. 3rd place Yeti Ghetto Slang. 2nd place Jay won the skate. And 1st place Mighty Mar once again
Mighty
using
Mar.
that
Mighty
top
Mar.
tier Atticus.
Yeah, bottom tier character.
I haven't seen Mighty Mar in a while. What's up, Mighty Mar?
Skullgirls. 4th place was Adavice. 3rd place Stuckator. 2nd place Elda Taluda. And 1st place CR de Killsave.
All right. Pokken.
Pokken, which I don't think Goichi entered. So, but 4th place was Double. 3rd place Rasenryu. 2nd place Coach Steve. And
Alright.
1st place Thulius.
Oh, Thuoghts, he was top 8 at Evo.
And then Goichi got first in these following games.
I just want to say, Coach Steve apparently lost first round, and then made it all the way to grand finals.
Damn.
Took the Filipino man route, dude.
That's a crazy route.
Or the John Choi route, as it originally was. 4th place Magnets. 3rd place Pearly Faye.
I tried.
2nd place Loli Maiko. And 1st place Goichi from Under Night in Birth.
All right.
Melty Blood.
Congrats to Goichi for winning that
Yeah,
one.
Kosanagi, blah blah blah. Accent Core, Elven Shadow won
All
that
right,
one.
go
The
America.
Brett and Hano and KB Nova.
Bananacan won Persona, as he is wont to do.
Yep, 1st place in Tatsunoko versus
Tatsuka
Capcom
was sick.
was Magno Man X. I didn't see any of it. I didn't get a chance to see any of
Wow.
this. Tronzilla was there
Interesting,
too as well.
interesting.
Okay.
Third strike. Chris G. Yeah, he's
first
pretty
place
good.
was NY Chris G.
Yang.
Tengenki Buko was
Yo, you
Goichi.
young, Jim Marvelous, let's
Man.
go, let's go.
CVS2
I
was
can't believe
Chris G.
Jabali beat Nerd Josh in CBS 2.
No.
Dude,
Jabali
Nerd
beat
Josh-
Ricky Ortiz
Not in,
in
this
CVS
tournament?
2.
In this
Not in that
tournament?
tournament, but has beaten Ricky Ortiz before.
I feel like
Was Ricky awake?
If Ricky,
No, I'm serious.
If Ricky Ortiz
It was a hard one to swallow, man. I had to do
I don't
that.
know.
Stop.
Hey, congrats to him on being an American citizen.
Nerd Josh should actually just
Congrats.
quit fighting
Yeah, that's
games now or something.
I can't believe he lost to Jabelia.
That's why he didn't make it into that.
Not
King of
because
Fighters,
Yeah, really.
not because Jabelia is
trying.
bad, but just because Josh
because
is good at
Jabelia is
CVS2. He's like
bad.
really
Look,
good.
Steve is correct.
No.
Look, I'm not lying. He
Wow,
definitely
man.
beat Ricky Ortiz.
Ultra Street
Hey,
Fighter
I've beaten Ricky
4
too,
was
but
won by Knuckle Dude.
It was in
Knuckle
KOF
Dude,
2003, so.
Wolf Krone and Chris G. Knuckle Dude, Wolf Krone and Chris G for Ultra Street Fighter 4. Soul Calibur was won by John Needy, really.
Wow, shout outs to the hot dog.
Nice. Team tournament
Alright, the rest.
exhibitions,
Well,
blah,
it was a
blah,
good
blah.
event. It seemed cool, man. Thanks to everybody for streaming it and
I-
doing it. I see Josh and Callisto in the chat. That's
Callisto,
cool.
I'm sorry I wasn't there.
Good work, folks.
I really want to go next year. I really
Yeah,
wanna
the
go.
event looks
I need
super
to figure
sick.
a way to get out there and such. So.
It's in Chicago, and I feel like of all the places I've ever traveled to, that's the only one where I come back like actually fatter.
because of the pizza, right?
Not even
Yeah.
just the pizza. The
Everything,
pizza definitely
man.
helps, but all the food there
All
is
the
so
food.
fattening and it's so delicious.
Hot
So
dogs.
bad.
Oh, man. They're
Yeah,
they're so good.
Although when I
everything.
went, remember when we
All
went
the,
to
all the
Lee
Polish
Wires,
and
those
Italian
hot
and
dogs
Jewish
there,
influence.
that,
Oh, man.
what was
Sonoran
those?
You
dogs?
got it. You
The
get
Sonora
fat. For
dogs
sure.
were
So you-
good, dude. The Sonora
You
dogs
can't
were
not
good.
get fat on that kind of food.
Yeah, the food over in Chicago is dangerous, man.
It's very dangerous.
But so
Yeah.
good.
It's so
So
good.
good.
I love the food there. Yeah, I can't lie.
Okay.
It's bad
All
for
right.
us.
Well, that was Frosty Faustings. Do you want to take a break and then we'll come back? We can just clear everything else out. Sounds good.
Clear it out.
We'll be right back,
Well-
ladies and gents. Okay.
All right, welcome back. So, some top players over the last week or so have talked in Street Fighter V about what their top 5 lists are, their top 5 character selections, and there have been some different results of that. Not everybody has had the same list. Just to briefly go over what they have said.
Right.
Sako said that he thinks Guile is number 1. All right, above
Only SS tier
above
character,
everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then after that, Boxer, Dictator, that is to say, M. Bison, Balrog and M. Bison,
Yeah.
and then Laura and Rashid. Nemo said Guile, Urian, Dictator, Zangief, Nekali.
Yeah.
Filipino Champ said Guile, Urian, Kami, Nekali, Laura. Kachi Tagari TV, Bonchan, etc. said Rashid, Ibuki, Kami, Guile, and Laura. So there are definitely some repeat characters in there, but each one of those lists has
a lot
like
of
somebody,
fluctuations.
some different things.
Okay. I mean, okay, well, let me ask what your guys' opinions on the top 5 are right now.
Okay.
No order in particular. So David,
Yeah.
what's your top 5 currently?
Come back to me in 2 seconds. Why don't you go first?
Sure. I think mine is Cammy, Guile. I think Guile is super powerful. And then probably after that, Urian. Maybe Laura. And the last one is hard to pick.
Last one is hard to pick. Yeah.
Maybe Rashid or Balrog. No, those are like 2 characters. Oh, did I say Nekali?
No.
No, then Nekali. Yeah,
Okay.
I think Nekali.
And you said exactly the same list that I have.
Really?
Wait, did you say? So mine is Cammy, Guile, Urian, Laura, and Nekali.
Yeah,
That's the same list.
that's
Yeah.
what I just said. Yeah.
What about yours?
I think Urian.
Okay.
Urian.
I had him at my 3rd character.
I
yeah.
was joking. Urian, if not Guile first, Cammy. Well, first Guile, Urian, Cammy, Balrog.
And who's
Laura.
tied? Which 3 characters are tied for the last?
Yeah. Who else you got there?
It's pretty clear.
I mean, I have the same 5 pretty much. So
Yeah?
it's Guile, Cammy, Laura, Balrog, and Urian. Those are my top 5.
Interesting.
Yeah, those are my top 5.
Okay.
So the interesting ones to me are that.
Yeah, the Japanese players lists are where I think there's a lot of more fluctuation.
Yeah. For example, 2 of them have M. Bison, the Dictator, on
Right.
there.
Which
There's
actually makes me super happy. So because I play him, I thought he was super good in season 1, right? I know a lot of
I
people.
did week 1, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
like,
you tweeting about it.
I was so happy at the start.
You're like, dash around Roundhouse, Bison's unstoppable.
Yeah.
But you didn't realize it was actually Street Fighter's netcode.
Yep, that's a big part of it, no doubt.
Yeah, but season 2, I think he's like I can't see a valid reason yet why he's not super good.
I
You know
think
what I
he's
mean?
certainly
So-
stronger, but I have trouble saying that the other characters on my list or other people's lists are not stronger than he is. So some people say him. There are some Rashids that have been mentioned.
Yeah.
And then
Zangief.
most wild to me is definitely including Zangief on that list.
Yeah, Nemo has him up there.
The interesting part is I feel like, because I know like even like the Topanga guys, Daigo, or Beast TV guys, I should say, Daigo and them are very high up on
Geef.
Zangief. Like, is Inazan just like completely traumatizing all of them?
His
or
rank has
something,
gone
or-
up quite a bit
Yeah,
this
he's like
season.
8th or 9th or something.
Yeah, he's mastering Geef.
Yeah.
But to me, the most interesting thing is I feel like generally when you see Japanese players tier lists, their tier lists are more emotional than Western tier lists. Like to me, I feel like a lot of Western players try to look at like the game broadly, but when I look at Japanese players tier lists, a lot of times it's who they struggle with, or who like whatever player is doing super well over there. They just pick that character and not necessarily like looking at the game in a broader sense.
I see.
I think that's just tier list in general.
Like I've watched, well, not always, but I've watched a lot of Nemo footage. Man, he gets dunked by Geef. That guy like never gets Zangief, and then
Remember
like he has the character
in
super
Ultra
high.
Street Fighter 4, he had Geef top 5.
Yeah, he had like he had like a similar issue.
Yeah, don't you remember? Like we said that was wrong, and then he actually like tweeted or had an interview about us or something. He was like, "They don't understand the game."
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
think
character was not top 5.
I think-
BTW.
Yeah, I think Nemo has like an issue with that character because
he could have
stylistically,
a CN,
Dude, I totally
you know.
can see the stylistic
stylistically,
problems.
I think that's a big problem character for him. Because I watch him play Urian against Scary. He's like dash forward, dash back,
He
fireball,
is
up
so
to blah
mobile
blah,
and
and then like
nonsensical.
Itabashi's like,
Pow.
and it crush counters him every time, and I'm just
Right.
like, what are you doing, bro? You're
I
just
don't
going
know,
nuts.
like, I feel like Nemo is such a strong player, and I don't know what he's doing a lot of the time. I'm not
Yeah.
sure
Well,
why
I
he's
mean,
leading.
like Daigo, like I said,
He's good. I don't know why,
Daigo and Fudo and all those guys were also talking. Like I said, they
Saying
were
that
talking about
Geef
how
is
strong
good.
Geef is really.
Yeah,
So-
look, I think Geef is definitely a better character, and it's nice for him that the characters who are strong, like look at the characters who have come up on lists a lot. He loses to a lot of them actually, but Laura, yeah, he does pretty well.
Boxer.
Cammy is pretty even. Boxer's pretty even, I would say. Maybe a slight advantage Geef.
What about Dictator?
That's true.
Geef, yeah, probably slight advantage Dictator over Dictator. I would say personally. That said, I definitely think he loses to Urian and Guile and Nikali and,
Yeah.
and Rashid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like he has certainly some bad matches still. So
Yeah, I think the
I don't know,
knockdown,
man.
the
Seems
knockdown
pretty good,
pressure.
but like not top 5.
Right, I agree with you. Yeah, if I had to pick the characters like right outside of where my top 5 is, that's where like I have Boxer and Rashid,
Agreed.
and then like Karen, Chun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karen. Yeah, Chun is in there for sure.
A
Still.
lot of powerful characters in there. But yeah, like
Ibuki, I would say.
Ibuki is good. I think she's
What,
like
what,
solid
what do you
too.
think about Ken right now?
I think Ken is pretty
Good
good,
character.
but probably below those characters I just mentioned. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the fighting the top tier in the season is very important though. I think as a character, fighting the top tier is really good because a lot of those are very popular characters.
I actually thought what K-Brad was saying today during one of the interviews actually made a lot of sense. Because you know how they're saying, like, Street Fighter V, they're trying to emphasize the neutral. But Street Fighter 4, it was just so much easier to get back into the neutral because you had so many defensive options, right? Do you feel like more neutral is being played in Street Fighter 4 than Street Fighter 5, or do you think it's less?
Not markedly different, I guess.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah, I'd say about the same.
Yeah, I feel like the game's more scrambly than Street Fighter 4, but certain like less knockdown scenarios, more scramble, similar amount of neutral. So like that's the way I look at it. Like so you traded knockdown scenarios in Street Fighter 4 and scramble, and then you just kind of like did this.
Yeah, that seems right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like that works out better for more of the scramble situation than the...
I'd rather have scramble than like just set play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scramble's your thinking.
I mean, they did a really good job of varying up their characters, especially for characters that they thought would return and have the Vortex knockdown situation. Characters like Akuma, characters like
very
Ibuki,
They
Cammy.
thought those characters were going to be like full-blown Vortex, but I feel like
Yeah.
the most textbook of this Vortex is Cammy, only because of like her walk speed and her neutral control. So it's like, I think she's more of a Vortex character than any one of those other characters, and it benefits the scramble in that
Yeah,
situation.
her knockdown off drill is like one of the only times where
Right.
characters can just hit you, knock you down, keep
Right.
the
Like
pressure.
you can't even
Also.
lay there on the ground. If she gets a throw, like and not you don't want to get to the corner, so you're always gonna be like, oh, I'll just take the guess. You know
That's
what
the
I'm saying?
reason why, like, I'm not sure if I agree with that. It's just because off of her throw in the corner, she doesn't get anything.
She
much
doesn't
like
get
a lot
anything,
of
but she
other
gets to
characters.
walk
She
up.
can still medium.
I feel like her throw is so good because she's so good at building gray damage.
Yeah.
So the threat of throw from her, I feel like, is bigger than
threat.
most people. Even though
man.
it doesn't lead to like a vortex situation, it's just the fact that like if she's been in close, she did like a roundhouse and a strong and then maybe a fierce afterward. And now I have like this chunk.
And then she can just
that I gotta
walk
worry
back and
about.
wait for you to try
And
to
she-
retaliate.
That's going to be there for the next 10, 15
Her
seconds.
neutral is so good that like if you go back to it, it doesn't really matter, right? She
Right.
has great approach and
Oh, yeah,
great
yeah,
ground
I mean,
options.
that's
That's
her
why we
strength.
see these players. We see Myers. We see K.
But that's
walking in and out of that range.
I don't know if I consider her a vortex character. I consider her a neutral strong character.
I think
like,
I
Her
mean,
knockdown
certainly on
pressure
hit.
is some of the best.
Yeah, if she finds hits, then she gets great pressure with the
Because
drill.
she has an easier
It's
time.
only the drill though. That's
Right.
the
But a
only.
lot of
Right,
combos
they always
going
do the
drill.
drill
Right, yeah.
until they're in the corner.
Right.
But like, yeah, she has easier time mediating off of like a knockdown than almost anybody else. Like Yuri in tackle, he doesn't have a lot of real medias he gets off
Right.
of it.
Nah.
But Cammy can actually, get medias off of every drill.
It's more like that. I completely agree with you. It's more the threat of her getting that throw after she's built all this damage, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's why like she scares so many other players because
Yeah.
they don't want to get thrown. So you see those players going and be like, "Hey, how you doing? You think I'm
Oh,
going to throw you?"
dude. Like
You
Wait,
know,
it was so
everybody,
funny.
wait a second. Can we look at the Japanese players tier list and see if any of them had Cammy in top 5? Because I don't think either
No,
of
they
them
don't.
did. I
They
don't
don't.
think any of them had Cammy.
No,
in
that was
top
one
five.
of the things. They don't
Really?
have Cammy in top five.
Kachidagari, TV, Bonchan, Cammy.
Cammy.
I did-
But,
I did-
but
I did
Sako,
see
does
Bonchan's
Sako have
list.
it?
Sako does not, and neither does Nemo.
No Cammy in top 5
That's
for either of
interesting.
those.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
I think that's so surprising, man.
Right?
I read that a while ago and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
these
that's-
guys
I
don't
remember
have
thinking
Cammy."
that this morning.
Yeah.
I feel like it just might be a situation that because she is not like this, like, oh, V trigger, oh my god, mix up, you die. Like she doesn't drive the salt as badly as some of the other
For
characters.
sure.
do,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Losing to Guile, you're just like, well, I jumped over a Sonic Boom and got
Right,
a flash kick. That's fine. But you lose to Urian and you're like, this son of a bitch mirror EX tackle,
exactly.
dirty
Or
son of
like,
a gun. Like,
you're watching like Smug today, right? It's like, hey, you have all your life. Oh, I touched you, V trigger, you died.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
now you're just scared to do anything, and then
Yeah.
he just throws you.
I feel like Balrog does that to any character though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like at any point in time that character gets triggered, like it's an X factor. It's like, well, if you block something, I'm gonna get at least 2 guesses to push you to this corner, kill you or stun you. 3 great positions to be in. Like, I mean, come
I'm
on.
with you, man.
yeah.
He's strong. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, the top 5 from Japanese players is very interesting. I feel like their views on Street Fighter have always, or like any tier list, is always very different from the West.
They've always been different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people.
They've
They're
always
like,
valued things differently.
Can
And
I-
it's not just, I wouldn't say the West in a blanket statement because sometimes Europe has different
Yeah.
tier
Yeah,
lists than
that's
we
true.
do, you know?
No, honestly, Cammy not being in most of those lists is probably maybe the most blatant.
That's
missing
surprising.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like Nemo has Geef in top 5, but not Cammy. Right?
Yeah,
I
that
guess-
does make sense because
Well, I mean,
a
so-
lot of people
'cause
believe
the thing
Cammy
is-
destroys Geef.
Well,
So-
here's
I feel like that's pretty even this
yeah,
time.
but I mean, honestly, like I know you don't agree with this necessarily, Steven, but like I feel like Urian's really good against Cammy, so I don't think that he probably doesn't have that fear necessarily.
Maybe,
So-
That's why I say I'm old school. I feel I'm one of those people that I look at tier lists and I'm like, this is opinion based to the fact
Oh
that
yeah,
they're
yeah,
not
oh
used to
yeah,
it.
but
So
it's fun
like,
to talk about.
yeah, it's fun to talk about. I take it with a more of a grain of salt than most. Like I look at it and I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything because I would want to talk to this person about that rather than just say yay or nay.
Someone is
Yeah.
saying that one of the reasons why they may justify Cammy not being in top 5 is because Japan right now only has Kazunoko doing well with Cammy, and like they don't really have anybody else.
Well, he
doing
got like
well
top
with
3
Cammy.
at
Right.
whatever the last, at
But that
Capcom Cup, and then the character got buffed.
who knows? I mean,
was,
look,
remember, like-
you remember hearing the Japanese people talk about Kazunoko? They talk about him like he's a nut, right?
Yeah.
So that they could be doing that
They're
kind of
downplaying
thing.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember at the start of the game, they thought Nakali was the best character because none of them could beat Haitani. They're like, this
Keith-
character is for sure the best. Like, I think their tier lists are very emotional.
Keith
It's like
does-
based on if you look at their tier list, it's whoever's winning right now in Japan.
I don't know why people think Geef beats Cammy. I don't think that that's the case.
Yeah,
I don't really think so. It
People
feels
talk
pretty even to
about
me.
that a lot of
I
times.
never thought that in season 1, and I don't
Season
think
1,
that's
I
even
think Cammy wins, and in this game,
Yeah, I
I think
think that's
Cammy
probably
has
true.
a slight advantage against Zhang. Yes, it's hard, but the mere fact that she has an actual anti-air uppercut makes that fight a little bit harder for you.
She has
I
good
feel like
pressure
it's-
too and buttons.
I think it's pretty even myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it is important that Geef does fine against Laura and Boxer and
I think
Cammy,
that brings back an element.
I feel like
element of
Urian
Street
is not
Fighter.
terrible for him. You know?
Well,
I feel like he loses, but it's not.
But
not
I feel the same way. Yeah.
It's that whole thing again where a character could be viable if their bad matchups are ones that can't beat anybody else. It's that weird.
That's a Street Fighter thing.
Yeah.
It's like a
And
super
look,
Street Fighter thing.
If your character is terrible against everybody but Chun-Li, and everybody in the tournament's playing Chun-Li but you have the best chance of winning.
Yeah.
You know, like
and,
it's
and
just one
on,
of those
on
things.
the other side of it, because so many people played Chun-Li, if you had a character that beat everyone but just got destroyed by Chun-Li, you would have no success in tournaments because you just end up fighting them all the time, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, Geef still gets crushed by Dawson, but that's not that important.
Nobody's
It's really
playing
not.
Sim. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, and it's definitely one of the things that people always go back to when they say you can't run one character and win Street Fighter. Now, I feel like that's less true now.
Yeah, it is less true now.
It's
than
less true
previous
now,
games, for
but
sure.
I feel like the more that the game gets rounded out, I feel like it's gonna go more towards those. If this player picks this character, then you have to pick this
Yeah.
character to stand a better
Yeah,
chance,
yeah.
or you have to round out that matchup. Because if you don't, it's gonna go exactly how it's
yeah,
gonna go.
look at what Dude's doing. It's multiple characters.
He has to. Like, there's no way.
Smart.
Yeah.
One of the
choice.
characters, I mean, obviously it's really good, but we haven't talked a lot about. I mean, there's definitely arguments on Twitter. I see people making fun of Javits all the time and stuff like that. What about Laura? Like, how good
Clearly
do you
a good
think
character.
she is?
She's
Like,
really good.
Yeah.
I don't think, and I've been saying this from the beginning of Street Fighter V. Laura was never bad. Not even once was she's
I
bad.
thought she was bad at the start.
I never thought she was bad personally. But now I just think
remember
that,
that.
I think now, I said what's going to happen is she's going to escape with everybody else. I said this from the beginning. I was like, what's going to happen? Season 2 is going to drop. They're not going to mess with Laura that much. And all these other characters are going to get buffed. But Laura's going to be up there because nobody's going to know anything about the character.
She's a scary character to change. Like, you can change such small things about her and she becomes so dominant. So,
Exactly.
yeah, she was definitely a tough one.
I think the problem, like, she's so powerful because hitting her claps, the fireballs, those things are impossible to low hit.
Well,
like it's supposed to be easy to low profile and hit her, but it's like
Depends
You
on
have to know the
character,
move.
you
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know how many
depends on the
times
character.
I saw when K-Rad was playing Wolfgrown, I was doing the match analysis and like he starts to charge up the fireball, so K-Rad walks up and hits low forward, the fireball hits him, and then he does fierce, the calm off of it, EX, up thing.
I'll
And it's
say
like
this,
hella
Okay,
damage.
so here's the thing. With Cammy, it has to be sweep.
Yeah.
It's like the only time sweep is useful is the only move
Yeah,
that
man.
gets under it. Because I
It's
will
crazy.
say this about Cammy's crouching medium kick. Like, when I fight Urian, if he hits standing strong, that beats my crouching medium kick.
Yeah.
That thing, like, owns that for free. It just has a really bad high hurt
Yeah.
box.
So
on
I
crouch.
guess this goes to the testament that Gal's a really good character. But if you go back and when you look at the match between Chris G and Wolf Chrome, that exact same thing happened, and you know what he did? He swept. He did not. He didn't eat thunderclap pressure. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna go point blank? No, you're not. Trip dissipates. I keep my pressure." He did it multiple times, and when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh, okay. Chris knows that That's all you need. It's not the only thing you need to get rid of.
Yeah.
Wasn't gonna say that, but it's one of those things that Laura needs to actually get going. I feel like that's Laura's like shortcoming. The fact that she's so momentum based in a lot of
She's very
situations.
momentum-based.
Yeah, you know.
Well, the one thing about Laura, it's funny to me because a lot of people hate Laura, and I consider Laura to be the most Guilty Gear character of the game
I'd
right
say
now.
that, yeah.
Because you losing to Laura is going to be 80 to 90% of the time, like at mid levels, not at the highest levels, right? But at mid levels, you're losing to Laura is always going to be because you don't know the matchup and you don't know what all of her options are. So that's what people say about Guilty Gear characters. Like, this is how you learn to defend against it because you just learn what their options are. So what Javits was trying to do was like, oh, okay, so she does this. Like, okay, if she does command throw, she can't do this. This is not real. This is real. But if
She
she
doesn't
hits
get a
you with
free
the
dash in the
follow up
button.
on the bolt charge, this is it. If it's the heavy bolt charges, if it's a regular throw, you get and do this.
Well,
this.
I mean, people know that. Like, for example, at this tournament, Art, when he got knocked down by Wolf Crown, he did know that that she doesn't get a free dash in the button. So he pressed jab, right? Fine, he interrupts it, he gets out of that scenario. That said, he totally lost. I mean,
So,
Yeah.
but that's because Art just started changing the elbow. He was like, Wolfcrone just changed the elbow.
You just,
Right.
I mean, she
But,
has
I
enough
mean-
options that if you know, even if you know the solutions, I
Right,
feel like
yeah,
she's still
of
got
course.
it.
And
She
not
can
only
mix it
that,
up.
but
Yeah.
even if you know the matchup, 50-50s are still 50-50s.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, like,
Of course.
I don't
You
think
just
she
gotta
has
guess.
like legit. Like I think her 50-50 comes into play like at basic level, but like I'm looking at like players like Crone, right? So it's like you're fighting him in the neutral, or you're attempting to, right? He's one of those players, him and Mike and Ike, the minute they add dash to that, you're just mind blown. You're like,
Right.
well, now he's doing the V skill dash. What do I do now? And it's meant as it's a distraction tactic because you see him start moving. You're like, what's gonna happen now? And they're like elbow counter hit. And you're like, oh damn, I'm in it again.
There's
you
too
know?
much to look out for. Between
It's
you're
just-
trying to look for fireball startup so you can low profile it. You're trying to look for V skill dash. You're trying to look for jump. You're trying to look for footsie buttons. Like
Yeah.
all those things in one make her
Yeah.
neutral super terrifying.
Yeah.
Her mix ups are legit. Like you just have to guess.
Standing medium
I
kick
mean,
is the most
I think
ridiculous
that
It's
like
pretty good.
she's not gonna probably stay top 5 the whole time. That's
No,
my
she's
guess because I think people are gonna get used to stuff. And I also think that like it's not a 50-50 because you don't take equal damage or at equal
Right.
setups because of different different hits or the command grab. I would much rather
In
eat
V-
the command
in
grab a
V-trigger,
lot of the
though.
time. Different in
Yeah.
V-trigger, but I'd much rather eat the command grab most of the time than taking like a significant hit, obviously. So,
Yeah.
The problem is that the command grab is usually what gets you stunned.
I feel like
In V trigger is when
It's
you're
scary.
you're done
in
for.
trigger is different.
'Cause people-
But dude, the fact that she has crouching short jab into elbow,
That is too.
I feel like that was maybe a little bit overboard, but still, I feel like she is a good character that probably, in my view, probably won't end up top 5.
No.
But I feel like
You
she
mean
is right
as
now.
she is now? Do you
Yeah.
think if, but like, let's just say she goes unchanged now, do you think she would be top 5?
Like if this game
If
lasts
they
another
never
year,
if they never change their
I feel like
character.
she will not ultimately be top 5.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just think she is now.
I think the real juice of the character that people have figured out is definitely the clap pressure.
Yes,
Like the different timing and spacings of clap, so that if you try to hit a button to interrupt
right.
heavy clap, then jab clap will hit you and like stuff like that.
Stuff
That
like
is
that is definitely good. She
Oh,
has good
it's
pressure.
so bad.
And she has just mix-ups for days.
And
Her
I
mix-ups
think
are
it's just the
brutal.
fact that like it's so easy for her to bait you to do something with clap out there, and like you're gonna panic anyway. And you're like, well, I'm not gonna take any of it. I'm just gonna backdash. She's like, that's cool. I'm just gonna V skill and hit you with this crush counter and get a mix up anyway.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party. And I feel like that's one of the main things. I completely feel like Laura's gonna be easier to fight as the game progresses. But it's so much harder if you don't go in and look at the fact that, like we said, like you're gonna look at these mix-ups and you're gonna be like, well, crouch jab elbow. Like, oh, okay, cool, I know how to deal with that. But what if I knock you down and she just does dash elbow? Then you freak out a second. You know how to deal with that. Fine, knockdown, V skill. Then I'm gonna come in and do it. All it takes is one freeze.
I hear you.
You know.
I mean, I think she'll always be good.
Well, so this is someone asked in the chat, and I think this is a valid question based off of some of the stuff that Hans was saying in a recent Reddit post.
Oh yeah.
Do you think the game is going to get balanced before CPT starts?
Stand on it. Yes,
Here's-
100% stand. On it.
I was 50-50 before. The fact that they brought up the fact that there could be a balance patch means to me it's 100% happening.
I knew the minute I played that game, I was like, this game is not releasing like this.
No,
I told everybody.
I
I
think-
knew it.
I think, until I saw them say there could potentially be a patch, I was like 50-50. As soon as I saw them say there could maybe be, I was like, they're already working on it. Like that, to me, that is a for sure sign that it's
I
happening.
would think so.
Yeah, to me, that means that it's happening. Like,
I would think so.
that
And,
wording
I mean,
alone.
It's hard to imagine that like they're gonna leave Fang as he is because the
Yeah.
character is a pile of butts.
Man,
I
wouldn't it
forgot
be
somebody
something if
said
they
something.
patched and he got nerfed again?
I wouldn't be too surprised.
Somebody said something to me about it was I think somebody was telling me they were playing Akuma versus Fang and they had no idea what to do. Like Fang just beat him up. And I was like, huh? Like
Well, okay. To be fair, if you don't know how to fight Fang, like once he gets next to you and you start blocking crouch medium kicks and towards roundhouses, if you're hitting buttons, you're gonna die, right? I can't look.
I don't think
I
David
can't-
agrees.
I don't.
I
just gotta
can't
sit there.
I can't beat Fang. I actually have a really hard
Really?
time fighting
Let's play
him.
against
yeah.
him, and then
Because
we-
I haven't played against him.
Well,
a
let's
lot,
play.
That's why.
Let's play.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I actually think Fang does alright
I
against
don't believe
Urian.
you're even gonna try. You just let's play. I'll show you how
I'll just
bad this character is.
Sandstorm, whatever.
You know, I actually think his
It's like the
neutral.
one time we were playing ST and I was like, Zangief doesn't do that bad against, like, not as bad against Cammy as, like, T-Hawk. And David's like, all right, and he played against someone else's Cammy, and he's like walking into everything on purpose. He's like, look how bad this.
That's what he's gonna
is.
do, man. I'm telling you, he's like, I'll show you, Fang. Watch this, James.
I actually
So
think
bad.
that
KO. Like
that Fang's neutral's not that bad against Urian, but he just loses in everything else, so it doesn't matter. But his neutral's alright.
I don't know, man.
Urian definitely beats him, but it's he can
Well,
throw
okay.
fireballs.
Do you think that if there is a patch, and I agree with you guys, I think it's likely to.
Yeah.
It's hella gonna be a patch.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Do you think that characters like Urian and Laura and Boxer are going to get eaten? Do you think that they're going to get rolled up?
I hope they don't, but I feel like they probably will.
Of course, I hope that they will not.
Very small. Put like this. In my personal opinion, this is what I think they should do. They should make very small changes to the people who are top tier, unless they need
I just
it.
want buffs for other
See,
characters.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with making the
buffs.
game like this crazy thing.
It doesn't need.
It's
I mean,
little
like
too
is
V-triggery,
like is
spastic,
Giles
right?
too
too
crazy
much right now.
Yeah, okay.
It's
But
too
see,
much.
like-
You think Giles too crazy? I think that like
I
if
think
you,
Giles-
I don't
think
think
Giles
I
is too
think it's
crazy.
I think if you give some characters a little love, then
What would you do to nerf Guile? What would you do to nerf Guile? Because I already know what I would do to nerf Guile. What would you do to nerf Guile?
you could probably revert the V trigger change or make his booms not do full damage anymore.
Yeah.
Those are probably like two
I
easy
think,
ones.
as well as the
Because they buff
amount
the
of-
boom damage and the V trigger, right?
Stand strong, crouching strong.
Oh Jesus!
Link. I
Yeah,
know.
that's
Overhead. I think overhead
Maybe-
kick is ridiculous.
maybe make it-
I think overhead kick is
Yeah,
crazy.
make it so that upside down kick jab combos but not strong.
Yeah,
that
something
might be a
like
better
that,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
like,
whatever.
my idea was just make his flash kick take 2 more frames to charge. That's all I want to do to him. Because all that will
Yeah.
happen is if you
You
throw
got-
a sonic boom and someone jumps
you
at
got to
you,
commit.
most of the time you probably would be charged, but if you just put enough doubt in your head,
Just on the margins. Yeah,
yeah,
that's fine.
then you can get in on him
I
a
think
little
that's
bit
fine. I
easier.
mean, I just don't.
That's all
I
I
don't
would
feel
do.
like anything is necessary. I don't feel like they're too crazy.
Right.
But I feel like for sure Urian crouching medium kick won't be plus and EX tackle will not be 0.
Yeah, I put like this.
I
If they
feel like
make
that
EX
was
tackle,
for sure.
if they
Should
make
be
EX
the
tackle,
case.
-1, maybe -2. Do
I
not let
I
this
think-
dude be in my grill the whole time. I'm sorry.
I think you just take 2 frames off both. You make crouching medium kick neutral and you make EX tackle -2.
I'd be
I
okay
think
with
that's
that.
fair.
That's
I'd,
fine. I mean,
I'd
it's
be a
like
little
the
okay with
easiest-
that.
I would
It's like the
also
easiest change.
probably make the EX tackle start up like 9 frames.
Yeah, not 7 frames. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because
please.
the
Can I
thing about
jump,
it is,
please?
so both him.
I think to do that you just make the vertical hitbox a little lower.
That'd be fine.
Instead
Yeah,
of
that's
instead
true.
of slowing
So
it.
Yeah.
between him and Balrog, like when they have V trigger with punish is too powerful with their EX charge moves.
Yeah.
Yo, stand strong, EX charge, trigger. That's such a good whiff.
But I mean, like
Yeah,
not
it's
even
really
stand strong, just like walk, like you're just charged, and they're like miff a button, pow, and then you're dead, or pow, and you're dead with Balrog. Like
Yeah,
we
both
saw
those
that
skills are really
today.
good.
those,
Both those are really good.
We
Yeah.
saw
like,
that
both of those
firsthand
need to be
today.
tweaked a
Again, I
little
mean, I
bit.
don't really want significant nerfs to them, but
Yeah,
I do expect it.
I just
Yeah.
want
I think that
small
they're gonna
things.
get eaten up.
It's not like I'm not having fun.
I
with the
feel
game.
like that what'll happen is like even now you know how Balrog started out everybody's like top 3 and now he's kind of drifting to the bottom of top 5s or maybe not top 5s and then he's gonna get nerfed hella and then everybody's gonna be like
Agreed.
they don't need the nerf from hell. It's
Yeah,
like I'm not
I
one of those.
agree, dude.
I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
one of those
I know.
I
people
hope they
to say
don't- I
just
hope
destroy
they
the
don't.
But they're
character.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
I
nerf
hope
them
they
enough.
don't. I hope they don't.
I hope they don't
They're
either.
gonna revert the turnaround punch change. They're gonna make it so
Turnaround
that
punch
That's
is-
not bad.
Okay,
no,
Turnaround
I
punch
think
change is
turnaround punch
sick.
is so
I
sick.
think
It's
it's
like a
a
cool
sick
idea.
idea. Yeah,
it's
turnaround
cool. It's
punch-
not just good. It's cool.
yeah.
I even felt this before Justin said it on the King of the Hill today, but there needs to be a visual cue of what level he's doing.
That'd be nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Because the thing is,
If you can't hear it, you don't know what level it
If
is.
Yeah.
if I don't know, I feel like now that's a thing that if you put that in Street Fighter, you change the whole dynamic of Street. Like if at any point in time you look down there to verify anything other than meter, I feel like
no,
you
I
change
don't
that
want it
dynamic.
on there the whole screen, but when he lets go, like maybe different levels, he has different magnitude of flaming fist.
They're not.
You know, or
they're not
something
They're
like
not
that.
gonna-
You
yeah,
know,
that
but,
costs
like,
money to do.
Yeah, agreed.
That's
No,
definitely
I think
gonna
that
happen.
is actually the reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's too
yeah,
much. It's too much money.
Yeah,
It's
it's
too
too
much
much to do
money.
that. But yeah, I definitely expect that to be changed, and I would expect the damage to be lessened, and probably not a Dragon Punch motion anymore, Flash Kick. Like, I just feel like they're just going to take the
And
changes
please
back.
cut his arms off.
Please put some legs back on Nash too.
They might do that.
Yo,
Yeah,
give
they
my
might do
boy
that.
back the ability to walk.
Did you see
Jesus
Bonchan?
Christ, man?
Bonchan
Yo,
versus
Bonchan.
Nemo?
Yeah,
Bonchan
he's doing
was
well.
at least 5 times as good as Nemo as a player,
But I mean, look,
and he lost.
He beat him in the 2 out of 3, a 3 out of 5, and a first of 5.
I've been watching a lot
But
of
not a first
Bonchan
attempt.
matches.
Not a first attempt.
yeah, but I mean, look, I mean that's.
I
like-
didn't understand. dude.
anything talking about Bonchan using dash is like talking about Cien using Fang, right? Like, no
I don't know,
one
dude.
believes Fang is good, even though
I think-
9th place at Evo, 9th place
Yeah.
at CBT. Obviously, Fang is super good, right? I mean,
The buffs to Nash are definitely under talked about, but
They are, and like now,
Yeah.
now after looking, I've legitimately been doing a lot of research on this because I wanted to see how they expect this character to be played. And looking at it, like I see Bonchan play, and I see where he's going. I see what that character needs to do. I know what they meant to do in his neutral. Like I look at this character, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But until you get about right here to right here, there's nothing.
I feel like they made him play more like a lot of other characters rather than having like the mobile zoner.
they just made his
someone
pressure
said
better.
that Bonchan tweeted that all he said was just give me my dashes back.
Yeah,
Basically.
dude, back medium kick +2. That's look. I'm
That's
telling you right
buff.
now, it's really not that bad. Like I'm playing this character, and I'm like, okay, that's not that bad. But there's certain
It's like
situations
he's not unique anymore. It's just
He's
less
not.
interesting.
But one of the things they
And
did
worse.
give him that I did see Bonchan start to use, he uses hard kick scythe as an anti-air.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's really weird.
He also ends a lot of his combos, like he gets a big V-trigger combo where he's like fierce, boom, teleport, fierce, down fierce, medium punch, light kick, target combo,
Yeah.
because it keeps you
He ends up
standing and he has
doing
better
that.
advantage. And then he either does like throw low or like frame trap or
Okay.
Yeah.
throw
And
big.
also,
It's
like,
really good.
Yeah.
you can do like counter hit confirm in the standing medium punch now.
Yeah, counter hit back medium kick, same medium.
No,
punch,
no,
what I'm talking
it's
about? Or
like
target
it's like
combo.
it's like legit like crouching light kick, standing medium punch, counter hit confirm. You get medium kick scythe off.
Right.
So it's like I saw him doing that, but the thing is about it, you use it as like crouching light kick, standing medium kick. It didn't hit, boom.
Yeah.
It did hit, scythe.
Scythe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a very good player, but man, Urian's way better.
Anything else you
Anyway,
want to
those
say
characters
about
are getting nerfed.
the top?
Yeah, who cares, right?
Okay, and then the
they're gonna
other-
call Nash to the office. You have the ability
Yeah.
to walk again.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
gonna start crying. Oh my god! They found a way to make you walk again.
They'll
They
never-
just they wheel that wheelchair over to Urian. Yeah, so there you go. This is for you.
Yeah, they're gonna nerf Urian. I'll just jump to a new character.
Oh yeah, you know.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I also
I'm like,
hope,
oh,
I
Urian?
also
Who's
hope that
that?
they buff Ryu
Third
a
strike
little
character.
bit too.
Yeah, they'll probably buffer you a little bit.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Ryu is in a sad state right now.
Anyway, assuming this happens, we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you want to take a break or let's just jump on to the next few things?
Yeah,
probably
just
keep-
go to the next thing.
Yeah,
It's
probably
fine.
keep going. Right?
Alright, so let's talk about like some games, events, and stuff like that news
Oh.
coming up here. This is
Ooh, Metropolis, Injustice, Gods Among Us.
I think I never played on that stage. I feel like.
I feel like I played on that stage. I feel like I play on that stage in MK. There's a stage in MKX that looks just like that, right? Yeah, there is. There is.
Yeah, the cityscape one. Wow, I wonder if it's like the same backdrop and they just like
Is it the
repainted
same
it.
universe?
No, I just mean like if NRS was like, all right, we have a city already.
Oh yeah,
let's
why
just
not?
repaint it.
Yeah. I mean, they reuse character models. Why not reuse that?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So in the games community news realm, of course, NetherRealm has released the second wave of beta codes.
Yeah.
Which I mean, look, I didn't get any codes, but I didn't sign up for anything, so obviously I'm not gonna be able to get
Dang.
it. But
I signed up for 3 different emails, and I still didn't get one.
I don't think it's
You were
gonna really be
stacking the
public
books.
until like a week before it's over.
right,
Is what I think.
But I mean, like, if anybody wants to, like anyone at NRS is like, hey, you know what? It'd be cool if we got James into this game, and I'm totally down.
You're down.
You're esports.
I'm still
James.
gonna play the game. I
Just
mean,
hit
if you
somebody
guys, if I don't get a code, I'm still gonna play the game.
Wow. You gotta
Whatever.
hold, you gotta hold your leverage, man.
Also, I
You
should
gotta
do that.
esports it
I'll
up.
avert that.
You gotta get
I'm
your
not
leverage
playing the
going.
game if I don't get a code.
You gotta esports it up better than
Should
that.
I say a
Steve.
copy either? If I don't get a copy and a code, I'm not playing the game.
You just said, give
Damn.
me a copy of your game. Damn.
Yeah.
Give me a copy, man. Y'all want me to play? I'm trying to do
Yeah.
y'all a favor.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
esports it up. Just
Yeah.
a favor.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a favor that
So
we play your games.
also
With good netcode. Yeah.
So obviously I'm doing this in no particular order, but
Okay.
it's all crazy all over the place. But
What do you got?
It's really cool. Oops, I don't have the window.
We got the stage
anymore.
in Injustice that we were just chatting
That's
about.
right.
Metropolis.
Metropolis.
As the lady would say, Metropolis.
Yeah, now it's a guy, and it's like just as
Yeah, he sounds like it's just her cousin or something. He's like sounds the exact same.
Neither one of them has any interest
Looks
in what's
like
going on.
Funko Pop has actually released some Tekken figures.
I know, right? I'm
Those are
happy
cool.
that they're actually like making Tekken stuff that I can just go to the store and buy or just order
Oh, yeah?
a lot more readily. Because they don't really release like toys and stuff like that. They haven't released stuff like this since like Tekken 4. So it's like I think it's really cool that I got something to put on the shelf in my house that's not super anime or Guilty Gear inspired or comic book.
Hey,
That is true.
Did we talk about Tekken's release date?
I think we
We
did that last week.
I believe,
We did
yeah.
that last week. Yeah. So there you go. So,
I don't remember talking about it.
Were you here?
I think
Wait,
I was.
were you?
Yeah,
I was here.
Yeah, everyone was here.
I don't remember.
But yeah, there you go. So that's that stuff there.
Heihachi is much shorter than the other characters.
Yeah, he kicked this little kid.
He's an old man, dude. When you get older, you shrink. You didn't know that?
No, yeah, you're right.
That's why I'm getting smaller every day. No, I'm kidding. New fighting game was announced.
He's closer in age to the new Supreme Court Justice nominee than he is to you.
Damn.
Did you do the math on that?
Yeah.
On purpose?
Actually, wait, Steve, how old are you?
I'm 32.
No, not for you, but to you, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm closer to age than to like the galaxy than to this guy.
Oh my goodness.
You
We're
really
stating
are
real
selling
facts
it.
here, alright?
Of course.
That's an alternate.
There's
That's
a
an
new fighting game.
Alternate fact.
Alternate facts.
Oh, Game Million Arthur. That's right.
Yeah, Million.
I'm confused by this.
Arthur, Arcana Blood for arcades, being released by Square Enix.
What? I haven't
and,
seen
like,
that.
and the craziest thing
Oh, yeah?
about it is like the game is called Million Arthur. Let me announce the 5 characters that are in
yeah.
it so far. There's Zex Siegfried and Arthur Blade Protector, Ei Arthur, Nito Arthur, and Tozuko Arthur.
Are you serious?
That
Yeah.
is actually a true
so
story.
there's probably going to be 1,000,000 pickable characters, and they're all going to be named Arthur.
I don't understand.
Maybe it's
I've
about
read
like
this, but I don't know what.
What
happened.
is
It's
this thing?
it's based off of an existing property out there already.
called what?
So I guess based on their Million Arthur mobile
The
game
franchise revolves around the story of a cultural exchange student who gets transported back into time and ends up pulling Excalibur from the stone.
This is an old cartoon.
As
I used
per
to
the
watch
legends
this.
of King Arthur, he ends up participating in a grand tournament for him to be able to accumulate holy blood
That's such an
and
anime
return
plot.
to the present.
And
You need holy blood to return to the
Tell
present. Well, why not?
me
Makes
more.
The world go round.
I want nothing to do with that, but hopefully the game is fun.
Also, if you guys have not seen this yet, please go, because we are just talking about this. Go check out Core A Gaming on Twitter at Core A Gaming. He just released a new video talking
That's
about
true.
nerfs and buffs and the philosophy behind them, and how maybe not necessarily having a totally balanced game with like nerfed characters is good.
Yeah, nobody
and if
wants
you're
that.
too focused on balance, then the game might not be fun, etc.
Right.
But again,
You don't want a virtual fighter to happen again. That game was amazing, and nobody played it because they felt like it was too. It was like, this is boring. Everybody's all fair. This is whack. And I'm like, it's really not even that fair. But all right.
it's really well again produced, very well edited.
Yeah.
And the guy, Gerald's voice is just dreamy.
Gerald's
you know,
good, man.
you just sit there
He
listen
speaks
to
well.
it, like, and you listen to Gerald's voice, and then like you get these feels and like tingling starts. Oh, that's just me.
Yeah,
it's not
probably.
ASMR, James.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
He does great content.
He does.
Also, during the most recent winter stays on stream session, we've got news of 5 events that will be in the Capcom Pro Tour.
Ooh,
I don't know
I
if
missed
these
those.
are premieres or let me see. So changes may occur as for which events are premiere and which are only ranking. Only one of the events was confirmed to be a premiere event. So the events so far that we're gonna see over here. There we go. So it is going to be
What time?
Sonic Boom Summer Edition, April 1st through 2nd in Madrid, Spain. Ultimate Fighting Arena, April 8th through 9th, which is going to be in Paris, France.
Cool.
Hype Spotting 6 in April 15th in Glasgow, Scotland. The Coliseum, May 6th through 7th in Rome, Italy. That's a sick name for a tournament.
Yeah.
That takes place in Rome, Italy. I mean, and then
I get the reference.
FFM Rumble 10, May 19th through 21st in Frankfurt, Germany, and Ultimate Fighting Arena in Paris is the only one that is confirmed to be a premiere event. so
Oh,
far.
interesting.
Yeah, so they haven't told anybody yet if premieres are auto qualifiers or not yet, or if they just give you hella points or how they work. They haven't gone over any of that yet.
Yeah.
Also, a really interesting thing is that none of the events that have CPT so far are before final round.
Yeah.
So it seems like final round this year will not only before it was the kickoff to the Pro Tour, but it wasn't like the first event.
Well, they would retroactively add some events.
Right.
to
Like
it.
last year there was an event that was like a CPT ranking event that was before final round.
Right.
It seems like this year though they want final round to be like the official
Kickoff.
first tournament of the year. This one is where the CPT starts, right? Like they don't want it to be like
Interesting.
this is the start of the CPT Pro Tour, but there's also tournaments before it. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's weird, yeah.
Maybe it's the first premiere event.
It's probably a premiere, yeah. I mean, I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
I would love to go to Hype Spotting. in Glasgow.
Dude, I would love to go to all of those events.
Yeah.
I'm one of those. Yo, Madrid, Spain. Yo, sign me up.
Yeah,
Did
for
you
sure.
want to go running with the bulls?
No, I'm
No,
a
I
black
don't
guy.
wanna
We don't do
that.
that. We
I
don't.
think that's in Madrid.
No. Okay. Either way, Steve wouldn't have did it.
Yeah.
You would have did it,
that's
right?
in
Though?
that's in Barcelona, right?
I think it's Pamplona.
Is it Pamplona? Okay.
I'm not sure. Would you go running with the Bulls?
I'm on the margins, maybe.
Definitely not.
Nah, you're gonna be that guy. huh?
Nah, I'm the white
This
dude.
episode dedicated to David.
I'm the white dude who watches other white dudes do the crazy extreme sports, and I'm like, what's wrong with white people? Like, you always see the...
That's all I see. I see white guys
What
jumping in the
sport
water.
were you doing?
Look,
That was every white person's sport.
that was every white person's sport. I could have been running from a bull. Woo, ready for this bull! Woo,
I just want to know what this is.
Woo.
No, I feel
That's
like
the
that's
hopping
that.
out
I
of-
feel like that's like jumping off the cliff with the little wings.
Same thing,
and
man.
Okay,
Paragliding
okay, yeah,
or
sure.
whatever that is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The
Yeah,
wing,
like,
the wing one.
because you see them, like, they're so stupid. Like, you see them on the top of a building with their feet dangling.
Dude,
and they're doing
I saw a
handstands.
video today of a guy with a skateboard on the highest
I saw
skyscraper.
that.
I'm like, really,
So
guy?
the only, I
I
think
saw
the
that too.
only crazy thing like that I might be willing to try is I actually the last time I was in Hawaii I really want to do a zip line thing.
Ooh, I've done that.
Yeah,
That's not
right.
that dangerous.
Yeah,
I would
that's,
do
that's,
that.
that's the most I'm gonna get.
I feel like
I'm
that's
just
not
gonna-
extreme.
That's
Yeah.
the problem.
It's a lot of fun, though.
And actually, in when we went to Puerto Rico, I remember
Some people went.
Mono actually, yeah, a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, the
took
day
us-
before we got there.
Yeah.
No, white people are stupid. They just do the dumbest. They just do the dumbest.
Look, man, you got to get your like jumps somehow. You know what I mean?
Right? We're just... Everything else is just so
Everything
chilling.
else, exactly right. Yeah, everything
Nothing-
else is so established and
that
just
they
good
have to
go.
get their
You
fear
gotta
from
do the wild
something.
stuff.
There's no
Yeah.
actual real danger,
Yeah.
right? So they have
And
to go and
yeah.
fabricate danger.
Oh wait, I
Yeah.
think you told me
I
about
actually
that.
told-
You actually talked to me about this.
We had this
So-
conversation. I was so pissed about it. I was like, man, white people are so stupid. Like, I had this conversation with Steve. I was like, they're just so comfortable in the food chain that they
Yeah,
feel like they
uh-huh.
have to create some kind of fear in their lives. Otherwise, life is boring.
I saw a video
I ranted
that
to him about
instantly reminded me of what you just said,
I
right?
think we were driving home from Ultraton or something, and I went on this rant about white people. I was so angry. I was like, oh my god.
I was like, it's the shark
Yeah.
video where the people are in the cages.
They're
and
so
and
crazy.
I'm like, why would you go? I just want to
Wait,
see a
the
shark.
what cage?
They're-
Oh, the shark
cage.
cage diving.
And then
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like they did the reverse video, and the shark was like, "Yo, I'm trying to help this person out of the cage."
Oh, yeah.
What are they doing?
seen that.
Anyways,
So
I used
stupid.
to aggressive inline skate when I was a kid. You know, rollerblading.
I won't even do that once anymore. I did
Aggressive
that down a hill
inline
once.
skate.
There was never like a good term for it, dude.
What was that movie? What was
There
that
wasn't.
skate movie?
So wait,
Brink?
why not just inline skating?
I don't know. That's
just
what
say
they called
bring
it
it
back
on?
then.
No.
I don't know if
Brink.
that's what they still call it because I'm
Brink.
not in that at all.
You're like inline skating, and you're just cursing the
Does
whole
anybody
time.
remember
Sons
Brink?
of Mother.
why it's
Aggressive
aggressive,
inline
yeah.
skating.
Anybody remember Brink? Remember one? You guys definitely don't remember it. Somebody in the chat will remember.
Brink?
Yeah.
Nah.
The
Somebody in the
game
chat will-
Brink.
a film, I guess.
Yo, this is also a true story. I also used to do aggressive scootering.
Get the hell out of here. That's not real.
It's 100% real.
Did you know any tricks?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we
That's
had.
it.
The tricks.
Aggressive
This is
scootering.
what I was talking
That's-
about. Hit me with the tricks.
We could do like a little jump off something, and you could like flip the scooter around.
Tail whip?
Yeah, it was
Oh
pretty
my
sick
God.
actually.
Ultra David.
I've seen this, I
Aggressive
think.
The
scooter.
kind
I've
of,
seen-
the kind
I've
of
seen
scooter you could
The
you could turn the
razor scooters,
handlebar
right?
all the way around.
Oh
No,
my
man, we had wheels. It was like
But you know what I
serious
used to do?
wheels.
I used to do aggressive skip it, and it was crazy because it was like it was ridiculous, man. The ball would come so fast,
That's
and then
as dumb as my thing. Come on.
Aggressive inline tetherball. What's that?
Yeah, foot tetherball. Oh man, all right.
I mean, honestly, I think when I was growing up, the most death-defying thing
The name
that
of my
I'd
scooter
ever
was
tried
the
to do
Hopster.
when I was growing up was just getting like a B on my report card.
Yeah.
That
Oh
was
my
probably,
God.
That was
Damn,
probably
James.
the most, you know.
I
death-defying.
definitely had a scooter as a kid, but I never did aggressive inline scootering. You're like another level
I have
above
never
me.
ridden a scooter in my life.
Oh, it's pretty
we never
easy.
saw anybody else do it, but like we went down to the skate park a couple of times. And
you just kind of picked it up like, yo, look at that guy. He's so aggressive in that scooter.
no, we were the only aggressive scooters we ever met.
Man, that guy's so hardcore. A girl sees David, man, he is so hot. Look how hard he's aggressive scooter.
Like some guy's riding a scooter, it's not a big deal, but you see David, he's aggressively riding the scooter.
He like hit. I can just imagine like hitting her like, oh, that was so sick. He's like, trick. Boom. Nailed it.
That is
Gets
exactly
up.
what happened.
Came right out of that half pipe. Almost twist my ankle. Whatever.
Exactly
He's
what
got
happened.
the scooter over the shoulder and he folds it up.
No, man, I'm telling you, it was not one of those little baby scooters. It was
like
real.
It wasn't a baby scooter. It was made out of metal, not plastic.
Correct.
Got it.
And it had an actual like bike tire.
Wait,
not
what?
like as big as a bike
Okay,
tire.
you just
but
freaked
like,
me out right there. I was like, that
it
is
was like
aggressive.
about half as big. It was pretty big.
Oh man.
I need to see videos of this. If there is
I can't
aggressive
handle this.
scootering, if he's not lying to me, somebody let me.
I don't think we have the Hopster anymore. I think it's gone. I think it died.
It's the silliest story.
I got some crazy man.
True story.
How old were you when you did this?
Probably like 15 or something. I don't know, 13.
Wild times, dude.
Crazy times,
Wild
dude.
times.
He said aggressive inline.
So, if you guys remember, Core Gaming did that interview with Infiltration.
Yeah.
Infiltration talked about, CPT and how like it wasn't necessarily the greatest event for the players and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Well, Bizarro Mike actually had a chance to talk to Alex Vai, where Alex
Right.
Vai talked about it and kind of defended a lot of the things that happened there. And a lot of it really did just come down to you wanted 3 out of 5 and you wanted to stream every match, so here you go. So, I mean, they talk about a bunch of other stuff. So if you want to check that out as well, that'll be on Yahoo Esports. You can find Bizarro Mike talking to Mr. Mi Hermano Alex Vai. So, also, apparently King of Fighters 14 is going to start being location tested in Japan in the arcades. So
That's pretty cool.
I can't wait for that.
What's
I
in
think
there?
that's
King
really
of Fighters
King of Fighters.
is going to
very
be
cool.
in the arcades in Japan.
I really think that's gonna expand the base of that game.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be at Evo too, so that's huge. I think that's really big for the game. So I'm excited for that game. Let's hope to see it blow up a little bit more.
For sure.
CEO Gaming has announced all of its 11 games after Jabali trolled everybody about the last game.
Yeah.
The first thing he tweeted was that all the Evo games are going to be in it.
Yes.
And then
agreed.
people still were like, there's not going to be Melee? And I'm like, the first thing he tweeted was that all the Evo games are going to be in it. How did you get baited that hard?
Indeed.
I won't say the first part about baited. The word is baited.
It's
Man.
professionally done.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Incomplete command of
the
it.
11 games that are going to be in there are Street Fighter V, UMVC 3, Tekken 7, Injustice 2, KOF 14, Blaze Blue Central Fiction, Guilty Gear Exit Revelator. If Rev 2 is out, they will use that. Killer Instinct, Pokken, and both of the Smash Brothers games.
Cool, man.
Yeah. So we'll see how that
That'll
goes.
be a fun one.
Yeah, man. I voted for Def Jam.
Exciting.
Pretty mad that Melee made it, dude.
You didn't vote for Shrek?
Oh, was that the same poll? I think Def Jam was in the first poll.
Oh, yeah. Shrek was definitely in the second poll.
Yeah, Shrek was pretty buff, yeah.
But yeah, I hinted at this earlier, but Hans did go into a Reddit thread and basically kind of talk about situations for the first time in a while. And he's like, look, everybody knows, like, we know about a lot of these problems. We're trying to get as much of them addressed. It's just time constraints and staff and everything. And he kind of promised that they would try to make sure that they regularly give us updates every other month.
Yeah.
Which still feels like a really long time. We still don't even know anything about the 5 characters that are coming out in season
Right.
2.
Wait, aren't we supposed to already have a character? Now that you say that?
Akuma was in there.
Yeah, I
And
think
was he
Akuma-
counted as the first character?
I'm not sure.
So that means we wouldn't
Yeah.
get a character until February.
Probably March, I would imagine.
February, March, yeah.
I bet you that the first character that's coming out is going to be revealed at final round. How much you want to bet?
Ooh.
Oh man.
I can see that.
That would be cool if they were like, and they're playable right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, probably not.
But you know,
They still
amongst
haven't
that-
announced a lot of the CPT details and stuff like that either, so I imagine that we might get character details around
The
then.
thing about it is, like, a lot of people are probably like, why aren't you announcing the CBT details? They're probably still just trying to iron everything out as to the best.
This is a super complicated thing, man. CPT,
Yeah.
people traveling from other
Dude,
countries,
look,
it's gonna be hard.
The reason why I wasn't mad about what happened last year with the super confusing format was because they tried to do something that was different. They tried to do something cool and to get people from different regions.
Yeah.
And I was really appreciative of that.
I like
Remember
the
when
idea,
they first
sure.
announced the details, we were all like, that's so sick. And in reality, it turned out all weird that when some guy won a tournament in the U.S., then that qualified someone in Europe, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
what in the world just happened?
I feel like people are a little too. I feel like people go in a little too hard on stuff like this.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah.
remember, the people that are doing this stuff, this is kind of like a first try kind
Yeah,
of thing.
exactly,
And they're
exactly.
doing this to include more people. Please stop being so critical sometimes. I mean, I understand. You all want to qualify, but let's be real. Half of you won't even get there anyway. That's including me. So,
I just wish it was easier to follow, or if Capcom had like a dedicated post that was like weekly or monthly that was like, hey guys, here's what's going on in the Capcom Pro Tour. Like, just hire Ace King off suit, dude. Come on.
I always said that like 2 years ago, it was really exciting to keep watching that board. Like I kept postulating like who's gonna be. Oh, he's got to win this. Last year it was just like you couldn't do it.
Yeah, the mental gymnastics to try to figure out who was going to qualify. I was like, somebody could qualify probably, and I'm sure they're really good, and we'll see. That was like...
Seems about right.
Yeah.
They announced that there will be the Combo Clash tournament in France on
Ooh.
February 18th, and it looks like it's going to be a very KI-oriented tournament. You can see right
Yeah,
here.
Combo Clash events or KI events.
Yeah, so very much a KI-focused event there. So, but the winner of this will get an automatic placement at the KI World Cup.
Which is coming up.
In March.
That's right.
Yeah.
Same weekend as
Final round.
Yeah.
no.
Dude, and I was telling Steve today there's like this Smash event happening at Esports Arena in March.
Right in the backyard.
And I was like, I haven't been to a Smash only event. I kind of want to see if it's a little different
Trying
from
to make that
from an
happen.
FGC event, right? So I was like, yeah, let me go check it out. March 20 whatever through the 20 whatever, like the same weekend as final
Dude,
round
and
and
that's
that.
also
I'm
like PAX
sucks.
East, I think, or something
Yeah,
like
PAX
that.
Wait, what is
Yeah.
the same
Is
weekend?
that so?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Bummer.
I think there's like 4 things going on.
I
that
really
weekend.
hope that's not the case, man.
That's
That
a bummer.
sucks, dude.
yeah, because somebody hit me up about PAX, I think, and I was like,
Yeah, that is a bummer.
Let me
Okay.
see what the
Okay.
dates for PAX East are. PAX East, March 10th through 12th.
Oh, so there's
the-
no-
it's the weekend before that, right?
no, it's like a couple
2
weekends.
weeks
2
before.
weeks
yeah.
before that. Okay, cool. Okay.
That sucks for KI, man. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Man.
They
And
did not
then
intend that.
also, I guess there's a new documentary out there that's focusing on Sonic Fox and his road to his 3rd championship. It's called Sonic Fox Defending the Crown.
Ooh.
That kid needs an orange fox head stat.
I'm pretty sure they already have one.
I'm sure they're working on it.
That kid needs an orange fox hat. Gotta get rid of the blue. I mean, I guess Echo Fox
Actually,
is blue.
is
and
that okay?
orange.
Like, can you change your colors?
Of what?
Like your furry hat?
Yeah.
Can you?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
Because
not,
it's
like,
part
important?
of your character, right?
Yeah.
oh no, that might be an issue. Dang.
I don't know.
Maybe he had like a signing clause about that in his contract.
Who knows?
You know what he should
Well, I
do?
know,
He should
but
just
I
wear
can't
the
say.
blue one and put like an orange streak in it.
No, you know what?
Or maybe he can just put an orange tail on. I'm just saying. Who
can't
knows?
just put an orange tail on
I'm
Steve.
not sure you can just
Well,
do
if you
that.
put an
Yeah, I don't
orange
think that's the
tail-
way this
but
works.
If you put an orange tail on, you have to put 2 of them on, right?
That's true.
Ooh,
9 of
I
them,
get
bro. Here's the thing.
Oh, damn, he's right, too. 9 orange tails.
What's it called? But his old
Yes,
his
Miles.
old hat
He's the
had a
cutie. We'll talk about it later.
his old hat had a CR logo on it. So I guess you could just take the current hat and then just like rip out the CR logo and then just put in an Echo Fox logo and it's probably fine.
Man, look, dude. All I'm
probably
saying
not
is
that
I'm a
complicated.
fan of blue, but
Yeah,
you
blue's
know,
my favorite color.
I feel like you got to rep the team proud. You got to
yeah.
switch up. We saw Justin
Yeah, you gotta do
today
your team.
looking like Mr.
Mr.
Wizard.
Wizard, he was all
sitting
orange.
at ESL, and I was like, "Hey, Joey. Oh, that's not Joey. That's Mr.
Oh,
Wizard."
Like he had orange and blue shoes,
Yeah.
blue pants, orange jacket, blue jersey. I was like, oh my
Wow,
god,
he was
all
fully decked
Echo
out?
Fox
Oh,
out.
yeah?
Yo, is it a furry hat cool enough for any of you guys to wear? Yes.
I
Took
don't
you too
think-
long
I
to
don't think
answer.
that's the
Wait,
one.
I-
If
wait,
somebody
didn't
had
process
a
the question.
cool furry hat for you. They
He's
said,
asking-
James,
yeah.
we're gonna gift you a
I
furry
don't
hat.
know if I'm at that power level.
I just don't know if like the coolness of it is the important question for me.
It's all
I
about
don't
the
think that's the
confidence, man. I'm
relevance.
gonna tell you guys right now.
Yeah,
that's
I don't
one
think
thing
there's
is
one-
David says like, I don't need a furry hat. I can just grow a furry beard.
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
So he's like,
Just
Nah,
grow it
dude.
enough that it
Yo,
just
think
wrap it
about
around
it.
on
Just
top
think
there.
about the guys who
Looking like a
can't
Kuma.
grow a beard, who are furries. I'm just saying, you have a leg up on the competition. Just saying.
I don't think it matters, man. You're wearing a mask, right?
I like to think that Akuma was modeled after David for not shaving for a year.
a
In Street
year?
Fighter 5, like
That's
years
like
ago.
a month,
Maybe like
dude.
a month.
That's like a month.
Like,
I haven't
Come on.
broken my nose that many times.
Mine, he modeled it
Yeah,
after
it's
mine.
like-
No,
yeah.
it's like the combination of David and I. It's the ultimate combination, but he doesn't sound like us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's too
that's-
bad.
Also, my forward fierce wouldn't be that slow.
Dude, it's crazy, right? How does he hang in the air that long? Also, his overhead is like, my hand is here. Ugh. Like, that's what it does. It looks so stupid. Anyway, you can
Yeah.
continue to go.
He's not that
That's
great.
all I have for games, community, and events news for now.
Sounds neato.
Okay.
Do we want to move on to the next topic then?
let's do
Yeah.
it. Might as well just wrap this up.
Sure. Last topic. Obviously, we've kind of hinted at it already. The past 9 days have been
this
very
topic.
interesting.
Well, it kind of goes into the CPT conversation.
Yeah,
we just had.
the CPT conversation. So it was interesting because obviously, it relating to the world, I was thinking about all the context, how it would reflect the world. The immigration ban that was the executive order for the immigration ban.
Yeah.
And I hadn't thought about its impact on the Capcom Pro Tour or the FGC at all until I
Right.
saw Phenom's tweet, and he's like, "If this stays, my CPT is done."
Yeah.
Because he cannot come into
Can't
the
come.
United States anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know where it is that he's a national of, but do you guys know what country?
He mentioned it. I forgot which one it was.
Phenom?
Phenom?
Phenom.
I don't know.
I mean, he lives in Norway now, but
Right.
so I'm not sure where he's
I'm
from
not sure.
originally.
Yeah.
Yeah, in any case, so the rule, if you don't know, is that refugees are banned for, I forget which one is 120 days or 90, but refugees are banned for, I think, 120 days.
People are saying it's from Iran.
He's from Iran.
Okay.
Okay.
Iran, okay, there you go. Yeah, and people entirely from 7 different countries, including Iran and 6 others, are banned from entry for 90 days. I think it's 90 and 120.
Yeah.
Or it's the other way around. Anyway, the result of that is that people who are like him, I guess, from Iran, they can't come in. So there's at least one impact in terms of the immediateness.
Right.
But on top of that, there might be secondary consequences
Yes.
of countries not liking the fact that the U.S. is restricting travel in this way, because that's considered a really important part of like the modern foundations of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of.
And so countries are considering or like floating the balloons of maybe not allowing travel to or from the U.S. either.
Yeah,
Right.
Iran was one of the first ones
Yeah,
that said
Iran
that. I
was,
think,
yeah.
right? Yeah, they were like, you can't come
Yeah,
over
so
here.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, as far as Hamad, for example, so Hamad is from Kuwait, and there are other people from Kuwait. Kuwait is not one of the 7 countries that has been banned, but the fact that there is a ban that's like clearly in its genesis a Muslim ban is probably not thrilling them.
Yeah,
I would
for
think
sure.
they're probably not stoked about that. So
We're not stoked either. So
We're not stoked either, yeah, but for sure, I'm sure they're not stoked about it. We've had close relations with Kuwait for a long time as a country, but I don't know what changes there could be, because there have been such drastic changes in only a couple
Right.
weeks. So who knows what could happen for people in Kuwait or like other countries. You know, it's impossible to have any like certainty about how politics and legality of things is going to be going forward.
Right. So, like, you know, in terms of fighting game, if somebody basically for anybody who's not from the U.S. wants to come to a U.S. event, like booking your flight is kind of worrisome, because what happens if your country turns out to like be one of the banned countries a month or 2 from now or something, right?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
'cause
I
it,
mean,
could
the
be,
way,
it could be instant.
It could
right,
be
because
instant,
that's
yeah.
Like
what
you could
happened to a
literally-
lot of people.
You could be
just
in
now.
the airplane flying to the U.S.
Yeah.
and when you land, you could find the news that you can't come in.
You're
You
banned.
got to fly back. You got to go back to wherever.
that sucks,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, it super sucks. And then on top of that, they're considering making changes to the traveling situation, such that if people come in from other countries, the U.S. can like search through their social media and look into like all these other.
Right. Yeah.
So that means you have to change your flight when you're gonna come in. That means you're not gonna be able to stay as long. You have to travel longer. You have to take more time off.
I mean, I wouldn't want to go to a country where they're gonna like search through my social media records. I just wouldn't go.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
go either.
I just wouldn't make the trip. So, and I wouldn't at all, if that does happen, I wouldn't at all blame people who didn't come.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I wouldn't do it. Why would I expect other people to do that? So,
You know what you blame? Commander in Queef. Piece of crap. Anyways,
Dang.
go ahead. I'm sorry. That was just had to.
No,
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
the
I know.
Emperor, Supreme Emperor.
you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a weird situation for sure. So, jokingly, probably, Lapsheet had a tweet that was like, hey, we should have Capcom Cup in Canada instead. Maybe.
Yeah, because
Maybe.
if none of the players, or if there's like a number of the players that can't actually come from a lot of the countries, then like,
Yeah.
how are you gonna have it in the U.S.?
Right, yeah.
They just can't come in.
Right, yeah. Or if they like on principled grounds, or just like, I don't want my privacy to be so blown up grounds,
Yeah.
don't want to come into the country.
Right.
I get that. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't want to do that myself.
Yeah, so anybody traveling here, it's super scary. Like, especially since a lot of the stuff's been happening at LAX. So it's
Yeah, there
like,
were people detained there.
right. Yeah, so even to me, like, I don't even know if I want to travel out of the U.S.
Yeah, it's like
Just
worrying
because,
for
like,
us as
it's
U.S. citizens.
Yeah, I'm
Scary,
a
yeah.
U.S. citizen, but like, what happens if I go somewhere and I come back and they're like, "Where were you?"
Yeah, why-
Turns out while you were there, like, we just decided you're not allowed to come back from there.
Why
'cause-
were you in X or Y place?
Yeah.
What were you doing there
Mhm.
in X or Y place? Why don't we check out your social media feeds on your way back? I mean, the law at the border is very sparse. Like
Yes.
normal constitutional stuff doesn't really apply when it comes to the border in a lot of situations. So things that would be like illegal, unreasonable searches and seizures, if they happened like here, are fine at the border. So like for example,
So you're talking about like Canada border, like
yeah, like when you come back, even for us as U.S. citizens coming back into the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like for example, if I were to bring my little tablet guy here, which I always do, as I come back in, they can validly, legally search that. They can just be like, "We want to see your thing." They can do that. They very rarely do that.
Right.
Who knows if it becomes more commonplace? I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like I can't bet
Yeah,
in
you
the
don't
same
want to
kind of
gamble.
way. You know what I mean?
don't
Like
wanna
I can't.
gamble.
It's tough now.
It's really scary. I mean, for all of us, especially like even first off, just the people like you said before that's traveling in and out of the United States, and then for people who want to just go like for working.
So are we gonna have less people from foreign countries at Evo this year?
Yeah.
Right. Just
If
because
this
a lot of
sticks,
people
I feel
come
like
to
it's
watch,
easy.
I mean,
right?
there are
Yeah.
at least 7 countries that can't be represented. But yeah, I mean, on top of that, well, I guess we'll see because at that point the ban's probably not going to still be in place. But just sort of like the feeling of the ban
Right.
creates a negative perception of America,
Very negative
which
perception.
I get because I kind of feel the same way. I wouldn't be surprised if people didn't want to come.
I mean, I was looking at a Facebook thing about them talking about it in court in England, I believe. And like they were saying, it was like, hey, it's up to the United States if they want to do it. But just like David said, like somebody right after that say, hey, we understand that, but then why should we accommodate them if no one wants to accommodate us? It's not that they only don't want to accommodate us, but we could just cut ties with them altogether. Those are things that people are saying. Those are natural conversations that happen.
Sure.
And we, being the fighting game community, a very small portion of any of that travel anyway.
Yeah.
But just the fact that it infringes on the fact that people want to come and enjoy themselves and do something that has nothing to do politically or religiously to what they're there to do.
Dude,
Come on.
some of the people who are barred from even coming to the country were here to like do research and like teach or like be part of this
Student
really
visas and
crucial.
all sorts of stuff.
You know, some of these people were going to be very, very significant contributing members to science and to society and stuff like that.
Definitely true.
It's yeah.
It's a very weird time. It feels like you can't. The certainty is not there in the law.
And I mean, it's very clear, obviously. So we're in SoCal, so we're all going to be more on the liberal side of things, right? And so it's just everything that's just been going on in the past 9 days. Like I said, it's crazy how slow these days have been going by. You know what I mean? Because like every morning I wake up and it's like he couldn't have just been president like
he's been
9
moving
days
quickly.
ago. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't feel like that's the case.
How many executive orders has he signed? Like 9 or something like that?
Quite a bit. I mean, it's not uncommon to have a president sign a lot of executive orders coming in, but it's more like the kind of executive orders that he's signed are like very they really disrupt things in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like for example, the idea that the U.S. would not. This is kind of as an aside. That the U.S. wouldn't honor the privacy requirements from the European Union. So that's a problem for tech companies because if a tech company from the U.S. wants to do business in the European Union, they have to abide by the privacy laws that are in there.
Right.
And privacy laws that we have in the U.S. are very sparse. So now the question is, will the European Union continue to allow tech companies to work to like have sales, to sell things, to work there? I don't know. But that's just like one of these like very weird situations, you know what I mean? Like it's the lack of certainty is
Yeah, those kind of questions
tough,
are
dude.
things that you don't want to leave up in the air, especially when one of your profession is probably traveling. Like, what if you need to? What if that's one of the things that leaving out of this country is something that you do for a living in some cases? I know people that like work for Google who travel all over the world, and they might not be born in the United States.
right.
What happens then? all because they do this ban now, all of a sudden, who's had a clean record the entire time, can't get back into the country because, like you said, once you get to the border to get back in, you can definitely get tied up and lost in the system, especially if you're in another country. And that's not including being able to contact people because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, who knows what... That's the thing, right? Like you mentioned, like, who knows what's going to happen? Like, we're talking about being a little worried about traveling, and we're all U.S. citizens.
Right.
Like, so imagine if you're not. Like, it's got to be super terrifying to go anywhere, right? Like, outside the country and come back. It's like, who knows if you'll get let in? Like, you have a job and family and work and all this stuff, and you just can't come back into the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, at first, people who have green cards were not allowed to come in, but they changed that after so many protests.
Green cards away from some people.
But they did also at the border have people sign documents that they didn't really clearly explain, and some of those did give up the right to travel in the U.S. for like 5 years or something crazy. So there's a lawsuit about that, or there's going to be a lawsuit about that now. But yeah, that's shady. You know?
Yeah, it like I said, it doesn't sit right with a lot of people, and I feel like the fact that like we have to talk about it or even slightly can touch on it to the fact that it does affect just this small thing is something that's it's very disconcerting. It's so scary to be in this situation, not just for me, but for other people. I mean, it's one of those things that you do have to take a look at, and you have to apply it to how it's going to affect you. I personally feel like anyway. That's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, clearly, Buddha Locke, who doesn't vote because it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, Trump is president because he effectively won 60,000 more votes than Clinton did in 3 important states that gave him the Electoral College, and there would not be a travel ban if anybody else had been elected, not just if it wasn't Trump. Right. If it was like any of the other Republicans had won, there wouldn't have been a travel ban. Like if any Democrat had won. So yeah, things could easily have been different, but I think it was like 52% of people who can vote did not vote.
Yeah.
It's a lot of folks. That really could have changed things.
I mean, it's a frustrating thing because like I registered to vote this year specifically because I wanted to put my voice out there, but we're in California, like it's.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen some of the stances that like the government in California have effectively taken to say that they are not with.
Right, but I mean, my point being is just that it's frustrating because I can register to vote, but I'm literally, I feel like in a way I'm not going to make a difference.
Yeah, in terms of the presidential election, you probably won't.
Right.
Which sucks. It's not a good system for sure, but still, I mean, it's important for sending messages if, because the percentage matters too. Like if Trump had won the electoral vote, that would have been a different situation than the fact that he lost it by 3 million or whatever it is. Like in terms of how much of your agenda you can get done effectively,
right.
that really has an impact. So your vote is not wasted because it was part of the fact that Trump did win the electoral or the popular vote.
I mean, someone in the chat says that they live in Texas. They have the same problem.
Yeah, but again, I mean, those numbers matter. Like if no people had voted for Clinton in Texas, and if, then again, that 3 million vote tally would be very different, or he would have had the popular vote win, and that is a very different situation politically than how it currently is. So it really matters.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I mean, it can. I mean, like obviously, the FGC is the least of the problems.
Of course,
yeah, we're a minor thing, but it's emblematic of things that are going on. Like we're not the only community having this talk right now. Right. Anybody, any community,
every community is.
Anything that requires international travel is having this kind of talk for sure.
Yeah, one of the Dota players from EG was from one of the countries that was banned. And he's like in the U.S. now, and it's like, so he was like, there was like an issue with that. I remember reading something about it on Twitter.
Can he go visit his family and come back?
Can he travel internationally
Probably
to an event?
Can he even go to events? Yeah, right.
Yeah, like I mean, a lot of the Dota events are in like other, like completely other countries, right? So it's like,
can he Korea, go to Japan?
Yeah, can he go to all these other places? Can he go to like a Russia major and come back? Like, can he do that?
I mean, like it's even in like racing, like foot racing, you know what I mean? Marathons is something that people I'm close to really follow closely. And now a lot of people who are very strong runners can't come to the U.S. and to like do stuff as they normally would because, they're from those 7 countries or whatever.
Yeah.
Or they're just worried about the potential future.
I mean,
so it's not just us, it's everybody.
I
You
mean,
have to
even
take
the
those things
process
into account.
even getting the process of getting a green card or a visa is like really hard.
Yeah.
It's
It
not
takes
even just,
years.
So to have
Right,
somebody
it's not
say
even just like-
no go, come on,
I
man.
know it's
It's
not
just politics,
it's
dude.
Just, it's
Yeah.
so hard to.
And the
already-
7 countries that were banned haven't. Nobody from there has attacked the U.S. in 40 years or something.
Well,
those
they
are
said-
not
yeah,
countries that have actively caused terror in the U.S.
Right, and of course, none of those countries are countries where Trump has any businesses.
That's also true. I mean, the list was created under Obama as
Yeah, it
like
was.
7 countries that are like potentially
Okay.
dangerous, but they've never done anything.
Mm.
By the way, a white Canadian dude terrorized Muslims this past weekend. He murdered 6 people. He was a white Christian guy
And they
in Quebec.
first reported him as being Muslim, right?
They did. But the point is just that terror is not about one religion or
Yeah,
Definitely
of course.
Yeah.
obviously it's
Yeah.
completely absurd to think that. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely a heavy thing to even talk about. I mean, like
Yeah.
I said before,
Yeah.
that we're a small
He was a Trump supporter also,
fraction.
it's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're a small fraction of who this affects. You know, but
But it affects us.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's good for us to be able to talk about it from that perspective, because then it just shows that like these decisions like this have such like an avalanche of effect all
For
over
sure,
the place.
man.
It's
Law is
definitely a
very
snowball
important.
effect.
Yeah. And very easily
Snowball
changed.
effect,
Like,
yeah.
don't think of law as being something that persists and is just like immovable.
Right.
Not true at all. It is constantly changing and it changes easily. All it needs is a few people who have enough power and they can change it super drastically.
All it
Super
takes is
drastically.
10.
They could
Yeah.
ban anime
Yeah.
from the country if they wanted.
I would leave instantly. I'm telling you right now. I can't watch anime. I'm buying a ticket right now.
But real talk, anime is better protected than the ability of people to enter the U.S.
Yeah.
There are more protections on that than immigration. So, I mean, the law in a lot of different ways can change super easily. It really requires that people like actively be involved, and you got to actively do things. You can't just sit around and expect
Yeah.
it to stay the same, because it won't. It won't.
But
Okay.
hopefully, guys like Phenom will be able to continue to play
I hope
and
so,
stuff
man.
like that, because that guy's super young, so much potential.
Yeah.
Obviously, was one of the strongest players last year.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the year, I can
Yeah.
imagine this year he's going to be doing damage all year long.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if like he can't come to final round, right? And like in an alternate timeline where he could come to final round, he would have won the event and got sponsored and been a pro player the rest of his life. But now will not, because he can't come to the U.S.
That is a plausible scenario.
totally a possible timeline.
Ow.
He gets a $40 million contract from EchoFox, and he's a lifelong player, and he ends up,
Dude,
being
he
going
should-
into the greatest of all time. And
Well, if you're
that's
if
the
you're an
alternate
esports
timeline.
team right now, many of them are based in the U.S., but not all of them are. Your choices about who to sponsor are
Right.
like very much impacted by this. If you're from the U.S., if you're a team in the U.S., do you sponsor somebody who's from outside of the U.S.?
Right.
Like, is
That's
that
the thing, is you
is that a sound business decision?
It
Because you
probably
can't
changes
count on
your
it.
decision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no certainty, so you can't count on it in the same way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, alrighty,
All right. So that's that.
that's all. We'll keep an eye on this.
Anything else that you guys want to talk about? Any random
Yeah, I would
topics?
like to talk about the Evo Games voting.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
Of course,
it's halfway
of course.
through.
Of course, I wanted to.
Doesn't
I
it
wanted to bring
end
the
Monday?
It ends on Monday.
I thought it was
Monday.
Monday.
Okay.
Because they had their show on Tuesday.
Oh, in that case, it probably is Tuesday.
Tuesday? I don't know. It's in like a week. It's been about 1 week so far. Let's check the status on everything.
All right. So currently in. Oh, I have to do the.
Dang.
Pay
chance.
attention. This is your Evo 9th game vote update. Currently in first place, and the lead is dwindling here, is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 with $15,668. But just under 2,000 behind is Pokken with 13,927. So basically,
Okay.
look, I'm just going to say this right now. I could stop here and we're done. Because
Wow.
like everything else is pretty much irrelevant at this
Well-
point. Like this feels like the Smash Skullgirls race of a few years ago.
I'll tell you this. Brandon Alexander said he's going to put 10,000 to KI. And KI is at
Oh,
5,010.
So that'll
So
take
if
it
it
up
gets
to
10K, it's in second place.
That's true,
Okay,
that's
and everything
true.
else is in peanuts.
Well, okay, so
Yeah,
third
it is.
place.
It is
Third
in
place
peanuts.
right now. Third place is Killer Instinct at $5,010 right now. Fourth place is Windjammers with $1,411. And fifth place is Arms with $1,320. Sixth place is Skullgirls with $672. Some people might be surprised that it's so low, considering they did so high last time. But it's low because last time they did all that and didn't get into it.
Yeah,
I think the community
there's
is
also going to be a side event already.
They've kind of just
same with Super Turbo.
Yeah,
Right.
and Mortal Kombat.
And Mortal
They
Kombat,
already
yeah.
talked about that.
But MK was in the garbage.
Yeah, seventh place is $600 with
I'm
Super
sorry,
Turbo.
with all the apple cores.
I'm sorry, sixth
You know
place.
I like that game.
Sixth place is
Ain't nobody gonna
Super
play that
Turbo
come Injustice.
for $600.
It's true, dude. You're never gonna see anybody play MKX again.
I thought the same thing about Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Oh,
Yeah, I
didn't,
haven't
man.
seen that game
I think,
forever.
I think Ultra Street Fighter 4 has a better
My
chance
bad,
of
my
surviving
bad.
than MKX.
Seventh place is Super Turbo with $600. Eighth place is Mortal Kombat XL with $135. It's
hasn't
been on
changed.
$135 for like the last 7 days. And of course,
Smart people.
The final game is Nidhogg with $101. That actually went up. It was at 35 for the longest time, and now it's almost beating Mortal Kombat X.
That'd be funny.
Only a $34 separation between Mortal Kombat XL and Nidhogg.
Someone could just make that happen.
That's true, yeah. Here's $35.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. This is far from over. This
Oh
race.
yeah, there's the
Oh,
KI
yeah.
because I've heard rumors that the KI community is scheming.
They are definitely.
Are they
scheming.
doing the eBay strategy?
Are they scheming?
Oh, dude.
Do you not
are
want
they
to talk
doing
about this
eBay?
publicly? Is this not for public
Waiting
talk?
for
Are
the
they
last.
Do you know the eBay
Yeah,
strategy,
yeah.
right? I've taught the eBay strategy to people before, and they're like, it doesn't make, like, why would I do that? Why don't I just, I'm like, dude, it benefits you. I've had to literally sit someone down and explain to them why sniping in eBay works.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And, like, they were like, oh, but I'm like,
Wait,
no.
People want you to explain the eBay strat.
Okay, so
Wait till the
sniping,
last day,
basically, you
folks.
wait till literally like 2 seconds and then you do your bid. Why is that? So, because the thing about it is the human psychology prevents eBay from working correctly. Because people don't know how much they're actually willing to spend on something. They'll tell themselves, I'm willing to spend $100, and then they bid $100 and they're outbid. And they're like, oh,
Guess I
well,
don't
maybe let's try 120. They're outbid.
Yeah.
150? I'm still outbid, right? But this happens. So people don't actually know what their mental limit is, right? So if you snipe something, and so if it's at $50, and you're like, I'm willing to spend $200, I'm responsible, I know that is exactly my
Right.
limit. You put $200 down, you're beating the guy who has 55, and now he's like, oh, this guy's beating me? $60. Oh, I still don't have it. $80. I still don't have it. $120. I still don't have it. $170. I still don't have it. I give up. And because you bid early, now you're spending over $100 more than you should have.
Yeah.
If you just wait until the last second
You only gotta
and bid
put
it,
in what you have to
right,
get.
and then that guy wouldn't have had any time to see it and go, oh shoot, let me try to bid it.
Yeah.
But the reason why that happens is because that guy bid $50 instead of actually bidding $170, which is his actual limit. Right? So if people all actually put in the real limits into eBay, it would work exactly as it was supposed to.
Well, it's just an auction, right?
Right, but because it doesn't, sniping is the correct strategy.
The moral of what James is getting to here is that at the end of this, a lot of people are going to wait till the last second
Yes.
and donate a ton of money.
Right, and so the key
So that-
here is that because
These
Killer
leads are
Instinct-
just all
yeah,
illusions. The
Killer
leads are all
Instinct
illusions.
waiting there would be better
Alrighty,
off. Like if
it's
they had
time.
enough money to surpass what's there now, if they put
Bad
that
idea.
in there right now, all those other communities would be like, "Oh
We
shit!
gotta get our
Here
game
comes
and win."
KI. Let's quick!"
Yeah, you just
But-
got to make sure that you're like within reasonable striking distance.
Right.
You know, that's all.
Yeah, like-
reasonable. It can't be totally out of the water, but
If in
They're there.
the last hour suddenly a game gets 40,000 or something crazy, right? Like
Right.
you're just like, oh my god, what just happened? Like, oh, it's like suddenly
I mean,
way up there.
they said that last time for the Evo thing between Skullgirls and Smash. I think they said 60% of the money was donated in the last day or something like that. It was something crazy. Like
Those
some
numbers are
stat
gonna
was ridiculous.
Those numbers are gonna shoot up.
I want to
Yeah.
see this.
I'm
So,
telling you.
Do you think the arms community is going to come in and swipe?
I think
There's an arms community?
I don't think so.
I think it's gonna be I I highly think that the last day it's gonna be a crazy race.
Okay.
Okay, so the last time they did this, it was always Skullgirls and Smash, Skullgirls Smash, Skullgirls Smash, and then right at the very end, Super Turbo came from nowhere.
That's
like,
right.
Doom, and everyone was like, "What?" And then it became a 3. So I feel like this year, Pokken is the Smash.
Okay.
Skullgirls is now Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Killer Instinct could potentially be the Super Turbo.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, I'd be happy with any of those 3, and I'm not going to vote myself because I would feel weird.
Yeah. I've had
really?
people tell me to promote one or the other, and I haven't even retweeted things. So like
Agreed, me
stuff
neither.
like, for example, like Undefeated's gonna be doing like a bunch of stuff for Marvel. You know, Shunao even like made the shirt, which is cool and everything like that. But like, I've always retweeted like all of Angelic stuff for Undefeated. I've always retweeted a lot of Shunao stuff. Like I won't even retweet.
Agreed, man. I haven't been doing that.
I
either.
actually almost feel bad about supporting KI over Marvel because I want them both to make it,
I feel like
but I'm kind of leaning towards KI. So yeah.
I really want Marvel, but I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna donate. But I have said, I put out my tweet where I was just like, hey, what would Stan Lee do? Put Marvel in
Oh
it.
dang, he's
Stanley.
fighting for
So-
Marvel.
Hey, look, I have to fight for Marvel. I'm a Marvel
only-
guy. Like, I love that game and I love the characters.
The
Like,
only thing that I will point out, and someone said this to me, and it made me go, "Oh crap!" If Marvel does not make it into this Evo, it will actually be the first Evo with no Marvel game.
and that's stupid. Like, that's so dumb to me.
Like that's the only thing I will say about Marvel right now. You know, here on the show is that it would be the first time that there's no Marvel in there, and that surprised me. I didn't even think about that.
But Killer Instinct music in Mandalay Bay.
It's sick. That would be pretty sick.
I don't know. I feel like, so
I
you
think
mean to
Marvel
tell
music is pretty
me,
good.
so you mean to tell me that you think KI will be more hyped than Marvel at Evo?
I literally just said the music would sound good.
So that was a question.
I'm stroking my chin.
Nah, that's right. Okay, all right.
I don't know. KI top 8s are always good. So it could be.
It's true.
They are.
KI top 8.
That's why I'm not gonna. I mean, I've played and commentated each of these games, and I don't feel like I would. It's like, you know how some journalists like cover politics, but like they don't vote because they feel like I should
Right.
cover it dispassionately. It's kind of how I feel about this, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I should pick a side.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just saying.
it's hard. It's hard. It's
I
hard
would
to choose.
like to see Marvel, because, I mean, the one last time. This is not me saying what anybody else should do, but what I just feel like if somebody asks me,
He's saying vote for Marvel.
No, look, I'm going to say my case. I honestly, and I said this before, I think KI should have been in there free anyway. That's my
They
personal
definitely
opinion.
both should be in.
Exactly.
For sure. If KOF was in this voting poll, it would not make top
But
three.
But see, the thing is,
I really,
I mean,
maybe third place.
I
best
actually,
scenario.
I was actually
I
talking
think it'd be
about this
below
though
MKX.
because like KOF, I'm actually in
Nah.
retrospect really glad that it's in there because I made that tweet right that everybody's always like, man, you know, to hell with Evo because they never support the small games. They don't give the small games a chance. And then they go and vote in KOF 14, and now everyone's like, man, no one plays this game. Why is it in there? You know, but like it shows that there is the possibility for Evo to support the smaller
Yeah, it's true.
communities, and I think that's really important to see.
It is nice. It is nice. I mean, there aren't even locals for that game, but you know, it's nice.
I feel like that goes without saying, though. You know what I mean? I mean, I feel like there are games, and I'm not gonna like trick myself into saying otherwise, but like there are definitely games that are definitely looked at first for Evo. I mean, there are games that you're gonna be like when Street Fighter V was in, I was like, well, Street Fighter's definitely gonna be at Evo.
for sure.
I felt like KOF was definitely poised to be one of those games.
Before launch, I totally agree.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
yo, KOF is definitely gonna be at Evo.
sure.
The game came out, people played it, and a bunch of stuff happened. And now I'm looking at it, and I'm like, should KOF be 100% in?
It seems like a fun game.
It's
Seems
a
good,
it's a
man.
hell of a fun game. I
Yeah.
love that game. I'm just saying when you put it on the scale of, say, like a game like Marvel right now, a game like that has Evo history, and saying, well, look, we've never had an Evo without Marvel. This is going to be the last Evo for Marvel 3. We've never had a repeat champion for Marvel 3 right now.
Next year, MVCI.
And next year is MVCI. Like, I feel like that's just me looking on paper. If I never told anybody about it, I would say, look, this is what I would lay out. I would lay out the fact that I think Killer Instinct should definitely be on there.
I'm
And
with
I
you.
want Arms. I want Arms in there. But Arms shouldn't be on there.
Agreed.
And Windjammers looks cool. It's damn fun. But get that shit out of here. Street
That would
Fighter
be so
Super Turbo.
hype.
Yo, I love that game. And I will watch it to the day I die. But I'm sorry. Get it out of
It
here.
should not
Skull-
be in there. I shouldn't. I said that
It's
last
ju-
week
it's
too.
true.
Sin Turbo should not be in there.
I actually think Skullgirls should be there on the voting side.
Yeah, okay.
I can't.
I'm with you.
I'm not even gonna lie about that. And just using David's logic, get Mortal Kombat out of here.
It is
So,
headed towards the garbage heap, friends.
so it's like, and I look at
It is not going to
Nighthawk,
Well, then as
a
a
Needhog.
result-
I'm like, what the hell is that?
Well,
And I'm
then
like,
as a result, then, so in your mind, the only games that should have been voted for were Skullgirls, Pokken, and KOF. And if that's the case, then KOF would get at least top 3.
That's what I mean.
voted, right?
That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
It
That's
might
what
get
I'm
third
saying.
place.
Yeah.
That's like, to me, that makes so much sense to me. But for somebody to tell me
Maybe.
you're gonna go to Evo,
$0.
you're gonna go to Evo and you're gonna see Marvel for Marvel 3 for the last time. If somebody says that on a microphone, that place is gonna explode. Like, I'm sorry. If somebody says that on a microphone, that place is gonna explode. And I'm telling you, I know that's what's gonna happen.
About to rip out a Nerd Josh's shirt over there.
I'm just saying. I think that I don't know. Like, I look at Pokken and I'm like, dude, I think it'll be sick to have Pokken there again. I think it would be sick.
I think it's a fun
And
game, man.
I want Killer Instinct to be there because, like you said, one, I do love Killer Instinct music. I think it's a really hype game. I love the
This is
competition
the
that comes
first
from.
time a lot of people have had a chance to play KI because it
That's
came
true.
out
It
on
just
PC.
came out this
So
last year.
Right.
come on,
It
man.
came out in 2016.
It was a beta before that.
Why is that game
Yeah.
not an Evo? Like, I don't understand. But like, this is not up to me.
I
This
don't know
is
either.
this is not up to me. I'm just a fan. I'm just a guy who likes to play games like you guys. I just so happen to like Marvel Comics.
Somebody says even at 8 a.m. Bro, it's in Mandalay Bay. Marvel Finals for the last year.
Who's not gonna show up? 8 a.m.
I
Marvel.
will be
I will be in that bad boy with 5 cups of
Regardless.
coffee. Like, Marvel for the last time. Yeah. Like, I'm telling you right now, I would do it. I'm telling you
I mean,
right
he's
now.
gonna be on the stage probably.
And you'll lose your voice on the first game.
I'll take it. Yo,
No, this guy's
if-
a pro. He doesn't
No, I've
use
been
his
doing it
voice.
too long now. That voice.
Okay, okay,
I'm,
okay,
I'm
okay, okay.
Our vocal
too
cords
strong
are
at this.
buff.
Dude, people always
Your muscles
ask me
get
and
stronger.
David, like, how do you not lose your voices anymore? And
Just
it's
doesn't
just,
happen.
it's just
I
we've been
really
doing
think
it
like
for
our
so
muscles
years.
get longer, dude.
Yeah,
Like the
uh-huh.
Dude,
larynx
would you
is the
tell
set
them
of muscles in our
We've
head.
legit been commentating for like 4 or 5 days straight. And they're like,
No,
Steve, how are you still
uh-huh,
talking? I'm like,
uh-huh.
dude, I'm too good now.
Yeah.
It never
Yeah,
goes
just-
I
away.
have,
used
I have
to
definitely done nine
endurance,
9 or
dude.
10 days straight, no problem.
Mhm.
And of commentating every day, it's not an issue.
Yep.
Well,
Either way, best game win. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to see each of those 3. Like I said, I don't want to publicly support one or the other. You know.
Just wait.
That's cool.
The
Yeah, those
last, the
three would
last
be
day
cool.
is going to be wild. We're going to be in here counting the balance. Ultra Chen TV.
Yo,
I really
it, is,
like all
it
those
does
games.
end
That's
on
true.
Tuesday.
It'll end on a Tuesday. We'll be sitting there refreshing
We should ask
the
them.
whole
Can
time.
we tell them? Can we
Oh,
tell?
can we-
We should ask them. Can we tell them
Can
who
we-
wins it? Yo, y'all need to do that. Y'all need
Oh,
to
we
do
need to
this.
talk
That
to
would
these
be
people.
so sick.
Y'all need
You gotta,
to do
you gotta
this.
talk to your boy Joey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would
yeah. I
be
think
so
we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to
sick.
do that.
If this was the announcement for the final Evo game, oh my god.
That would be sick.
Oh
That'd
my
be-
Well,
god.
okay. Without taking a side, what do you think is going to win?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll say
Like,
what I.
what's your expectation?
So my expectation, here's what I think is the last day is going to play out like this. Pokken, Marvel, fighting, boom, huge KI, like influx of money, countered by boom, huge influx of other games, or Pokken and Marvel, and then I think through the spirit bombing of Snake Tits and Justin Wong, Marvel will win.
Okay.
That's what I predict. I predict KI has big numbers at the
Predict
end.
Marvel.
but
Oh, I
Marvel-
think KI is gonna do like one of these, boop, and you're gonna
Yeah.
be like, oh my god, and then the Pokemon people are gonna be like, go, more money in credit cards, and then it's gonna like, boop, and then they're gonna go up, and then Yikes is gonna be like, Marvel, and then
Slide
Justin's gonna be like,
whistle.
Marvel,
He's gonna
oh, and it's gonna happen. Like that's what's gonna happen. I'm just saying, man.
Slide whistle.
Really, David? Again? You said- Are those different? That sounded different that time. That was crazy.
Should play it from the start.
Okay, so you're expecting Marvel.
I'm
what
like
you
this.
said?
In all honesty, I think it's gonna. As much as I want Marvel to be there, I feel like it's gonna be exactly what you said. But I don't know who's gonna come out on top.
Yeah.
Like I want Marvel to win, but I understand that these
In
communities.
first place, he has
have
3
people.
games.
I have
know,
3
come
games
on.
in first
I
place,
feel
baby.
like I feel like Justin is literally going to do an ice storm of cash, and it's going to be flying down and shredding the other community. He's going to be mashing for the damage. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
What do you got, James?
The
What's your
Echo
call?
Fox dollars.
The funniest part is because I keep tweeting out the current standings, and every time I tweet it out, I get so many tweets where people are like, "Who's voting for Pokken. Like, they're actually surprised, and I'm like, what?
It's a bunch of Pokken milfs out
It
there.
was
that small
bunch
of
of
a
little
scene.
It had the
kids.
4th highest entry at EVO last year. It had the 4th highest
it's not
entry.
nobody.
Pokken milfs are waiting. They're
Yeah.
gonna come up in their minivans filled with soccer balls and car baby seats,
Like-
and they're gonna be like, "Yo, we want that game in there so I can drop them off at Mandalay Bay and go do some gambling like real moms do." No, I'm just.
Cool. And then, well,
It's not a bunch
Rick
of
Fox
babies.
can't donate because he's corporation.
Nope, he's
He can donate.
He can. As an individual, he can donate.
Just not Echo Fox.
Echo Fox can't donate.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
okay.
All the people who are backing Echo Fox, they're some rich dudes. If they want maybe their boy to win a game at Evo,
And Marvel, look, I'll say that Marvel.
and then one of their
Justin
boys is
said-
probably going to win Marvel, or has a chance to win Marvel, obviously. Justin Wong.
said he would play if that game was in Evo.
Dude,
Yo, and
Eduardo
he's-
said he would play Marvel.
Like, Justin said publicly that he would play it, but we like pulled him aside today. and
Oh,
we're like,
yeah.
Yo, will you actually play? He's like, I'll actually play.
Who
He was, like,
doesn't
serious
want that?
about it. He
To
was
be
like,
the
"Oh, I'm actually
only
playing."
repeat champion for a game?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. That
You
this
know
story
Justin-
itself
you know,
is amazing.
Justin's pride about Marvel is a little different than everything else.
It is.
Like, he wants to win in Street Fighter, but in Marvel, he's like, I can't lose.
It's
at
in
this
his
game.
blood, man.
Yeah, he's like, I can't lose at this game. There's too much history there.
Yeah, Rick Fox surprises everybody. Everybody, put your money behind Skullgirls. But like, oh,
So
son
Sonic
of a
Fox-
bitch.
Sonic Fox,
Sonic Fox
yeah.
wins.
You dirty son of a bitch. Oh, man. I would
Well,
have.
I mean, Xavier Woods still has the potential to put all this money behind Windjammers.
Yo, you
right?
see that
So-
Windjammers up there on the WWE stage? I think it might change the game a little bit.
Damn, he could ruin
He
everything
could,
for all
he
those
could ruin
communities. He
everything.
could just roll through and be like, everybody, go to whatever link and vote for Windjammers. And suddenly Windjammers gets $100,000 and everybody's like,
What about if Max? I don't know if he has Max picked the side.
No, he's torn
donated-
between KI and Marvel.
No, he donated $200 to
Uh-huh.
KI.
Right.
So he doesn't want to sway it.
But he has $9,800 remaining to donate.
I get the point. All right.
Just saying. You could come for the hearts of the people.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying, like, he has like a position where he could like definitely influence what
Oh, yeah.
his various people donate
Yeah.
to.
Look, I know you guys
I
are watching
talked
my
about them
stream
last
right
time.
now, but I want you guys to don't donate to me. Go and donate to KI. What's a KI? It's a Killer Instinct. You go to this site and boom, 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 boom. Next
Yeah.
thing you know,
100,000.
Yeah, he could just
Ultra, ultra.
he could just tell his community, be like, look, community.
Just money coming out.
Yeah, instead of donating to me tonight, donate to this. And boom! It just like shoots
Yeah.
up. You're like, all right, well,
Yep.
there it is.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens next week when we officially announce it on Ultra
Well,
TV.
what in your heart?
Oh yeah, my pick.
Oh, not your heart. In your brain, what do you think?
What
is
do I
gonna win?
expect? I expect
Yeah.
Marvel to win.
You expect Marvel to win. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't actually answer the question, but I'm. God, you know it's really hard.
If I were to make my rank expectation, I would say Marvel, then KI, then
Because
Pokemon.
the thing is, I just know that the fighting game community is full of a bunch of smarty pants who are
They're
know
gonna
how to
game
game
the
the
system.
system. Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, it's so hard for me to call. It's so hard for me to call.
That last day, you're gonna wake
Dude,
up.
the thing is, KI is not the only community thinking about that.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
Everybody is.
Especially MK. They're playing the long con.
Yeah.
They're at
Super
135. They're like, no. We want everyone to believe that we have not save all your money until the
Yo,
last
I
day.
could see a
So-
secret test your might thread
There's
where they're like,
probably
how much
one
money
right
do we
now.
have if we all pull together at the same?
Exactly.
There might
dude,
be
that's
that thread,
exactly
but,
what's
it's-
happening.
It's close. It's not.
I believe in my
Come-
brain, it's Mortal Kombat XL. That's
When
gonna-
when is Injustice coming out? It's
May.
May.
Man.
Come May, I'm never gonna see MKX again.
Dang, dude. You're just going to
It's
break
not
up with
that
MKX forever?
No,
dude?
I would love to keep playing it and watching it, but I know how NRS works. I've been around, folks.
He's been around the block a few times, ladies and
This
gentlemen.
is the fourth new release, and each time since they stopped making terrible games, and each time it's been exactly the same. They just community throws out whatever the previous game was. It's not going to be any
so
different.
weird. So
It is weird. It sucks, but that's how it is.
It's life. It's a 2-year roadmap. Just the way this goes.
Test
Indeed.
your wallet.
All right.
That's the
Anything
name
else
of
for
the thread.
tonight?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Support whatever game you want, ladies and gentlemen.
Make your
Support
own choices.
whatever game
Yes.
you want.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. Well, we'll see you next week.
All right. Peace out, everybody.
Honk honk. Yo, video games.
Yeah. I think Max already does that.
Yeah, that was a max quote.
Okay.